Hello, everybody. Welcome to Make This Go Viral. Thank you all for coming today. We have a special guest in the building. Her name is Sheri Smith. Let's welcome Miss Sheri Smith to the panel. How you doing,
Hello,
Sheri?
everybody. Hi,
How
sweetie. How you doing?
I'm good. You can turn your camera on. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
There we go.
Sheri, it's so good to see you.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's been a long awaited, guys. So I did do an interview with Sheri a while back when Desiree was still missing. Her daughter's name is Desiree Thompson. She went missing 10 years ago and she was found a couple months ago. And so I just wanted to update to find out what is going on today. And she did inform me that I kind of misspoke about how she met the guy or how the guy came about her. I know that it was rumored that it was a party or something, but she's gonna set the record straight today. But I just want to welcome you.
Thank
And
you. Thank
hope
you.
you
It
feel
has been a long time.
deep breaths, deep breaths. There's
Right.
always something going on. I want to welcome everybody that's in the chat right now. Thank you guys for being here. Please hit the thumbs up and share it so more people will know about Desiree. And I was gonna start it with a video, but I guess we can start wherever you would like. First of all, let's correct what I said, because yeah, tell us what happened.
Okay. So evidently, the night that my daughter came up missing, what ended up happening, because everybody knows that I spoke to her at at 8:30 that night. I was told that she had left from the apartment that she was at around 9 o'clock that evening. At some point, she came in contact with her husband, and they were arguing or whatever they were doing, and my daughter had walked off. Well, now the suspect, who this really put a real twist on everything, is somebody my daughter didn't know. None of us knew. Not a person that any of us would have had anything to do with. Um, just because we wouldn't have, it's not somebody we would have been around. Or so this guy was 50 years old at the time. He supposedly went to
And
a
Desiree was 31 at the time, right?
Desiree was 30.
30, okay.
Yeah. So she this guy evidently went to some party. It was in an article that it was a what was it called? I forget what the name of it was. My brain just went dead. But anyway, it was, to me, when I saw I thought demonic, but it wasn't that. It was a bunch of teens, like older, I would say 18 to 20-year olds, 21, somewhere around in there, young
Uh-huh.
adults, having a party, walking around with mohawks and whatever, probably a goth party or something. Um, and so he goes to this party. He's not invited. He doesn't know anybody there. Just goes. First of all, I find that really peculiar. When you're 50 years old, what are you going to a young kid's party for?
Exactly.
Anyway, right. He goes in there. So evidently what he did was he got inappropriate with some of the females in there, whether it be physical or verbal, I don't know. Some of the guys put him out. Upon putting him out, he was pushed down. So he gets mad. And he gets so angry. He goes home, he gets angrier. He gets back in his truck and he comes back and sits down the street from the party, and he gets even more angry. What his thoughts were that he was going to sit there and wait for somebody to come from the party that assaulted him. And as he sat there longer, he was like, he didn't care who it was. First person walks by, he's going to kill him.
Oh my God. You got
So
me.
my daughter happened to be that person. Now I have a problem with what he stated, that he offered my daughter a beer. My
Yeah.
daughter, first of all, my daughter does not drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, my daughter would not have got in that car or truck with him, not knowing him. He's an illegal alien from El Salvador with broken English. My daughter would not have got in the vehicle with him.
Wow. So he's some weirdo guy.
He how he got my daughter in that vehicle, I don't know.
He probably had a gun or something.
And this is what I told the detectives. My daughter, first of all, anybody that knows my daughter would tell you she would not have got in the vehicle with him, and she would not have got in there on the whim of going to have a beer when she doesn't drink beer. So
Total made up story.
right. So that's what, he's not even owning up to this part of it. He only owns up to the part of going to the party. He places himself at the party. He admits to being angry, but when it comes to the part of my daughter, oh, we have a lapse of memory. We don't even know what he's talking about. So he gets my daughter to his house, which, like I said, it would have had to be forced. The only
A
thing is the
rave
officer.
party, huh? A rave party is what autism
Probably
is.
so. Absolutely. So my I told the detective, I understand the fact that unless somebody saw him force her in the vehicle, you guys have to kind of just go by what he's saying.
Yeah.
I get that. But I know, and everybody else knows, she didn't get in there willingly. So somehow he gets her to the house. At some point in this article, it stated that he bashed her head into
The refrigerator or something.
a mini fridge, and he stabbed her
Yeah.
repeatedly. He stabbed her. Mind you, you have to. He had to catch her off guard because my daughter is bigger than him, and my daughter would have fought him. She would have beat the living daylights out of him.
Yeah, especially under the
So he
circumstances
had,
that she was
yeah.
out
So he
there.
had weapons. He had the weapons, and somehow he had to get her to where she's not in her right mind. So evidently, bashing her head into the mini fridge was what threw her off to where she couldn't fight him. He stabbed her to death, and he spent the rest of the night digging a hole in his backyard of a home that he rented.
Wow.
And there he buried my daughter.
I'm so sorry, Cherie. Man, that you know what? That's I don't even have the words for what that is. But I'm so happy that he is it true that he told somebody about it? And now
Yeah,
he's sitting up here trying to
he
act
got
like it didn't
drunk.
happen.
He got drunk, and he told somebody from his church, of all places, somebody he went to church with.
Whoa.
He
How
told
long
them.
after it had happened? Did he tell?
Oh,
Because
it had to have been soon after because this guy was afraid of being deported, him and his son. And so he wrote a letter to CCPD and sent it. CCPD says they don't know nothing about this letter. The letter was sent in 2012.
what? So it is true. That's what I was going to ask you. Is it true that somebody told before, but you're saying that this actual guy he
This
told on
guy,
himself?
no, he didn't. No, the informant. I'm sorry, the
Okay.
informant wrote he told. So he went and got drunk.
Someone at his church told.
And
Okay.
somebody at his church, I guess they were having some little get together or something. I don't even know the scenario, but he ended up telling this guy and his son um what he did. He told multiple people what he did, but a lot of the other people, the detectives said that they thought he was just some drunk with some wild stories.
Oh,
Just
come on. You got to take somebody seriously if they say it.
right. So nobody else came forward but these two. And the informant came forward again when he saw me on the news pleading for my daughter.
So the same person that told in 2012 was the same person that
Yes.
told. That is unreal.
Yeah. He was in tears. He was in tears. He was still afraid of being deported, but he knew he had to do something.
Oh, so the witness, the guy that he told, was afraid of being
Right.
deported. I thought you were talking about the other guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
the other one, he's illegal too.
That's what I thought you
Yeah,
were
so
saying.
all of them are illegal. They're all illegal. But the informant, they're illegal as well. And he was afraid of being deported. And he had talked to his boss and told his boss this story. And his boss told him, he said, look, he says, write an anonymous letter and give it to them. Send it to them. So we don't know where the letter went to. Um,
So what you were saying in the beginning is true. Like they really wasn't doing no investigating, even ruling out her husband or whatever. They never called him
no,
in. And
because they could, yeah, because had they have done that, even when I went to them in 2015, they could have found realized that okay, there is another suspect. He's not the one. Process of elimination. You never talk to
exactly
him. He
all
still
these
hasn't been
years.
spoken to. He still hasn't been spoken
Unreal.
to.
Has he resurfaced or you don't know?
Uh, he's he's not going to contact me. That's for
Yeah.
sure. You know. Um, I don't know. They may try to get a hold of him. And let him know. Look, you're not the one in trouble. We need you for this. I don't know. Will he come? I don't know.
Yeah, because
Can they make him?
you're
You
still
know.
thinking though that he was probably one of the last people to
You know
talk
what?
to
I
because
it's like I told the detective at this point, her husband is not off the hook to me.
okay.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, because no, he didn't have anything to do with murdering her, but he didn't protect her. You
Mhm.
still argued with her that night and you let her walk off by herself. You did not make sure that she got home safely, regardless
Well,
of you guys arguing.
he
You
did
didn't make
not
sure she got
only
home safe.
argue, right? Didn't he put a gun up to her and stuff?
Yep,
Yeah, so it was a real fight because wasn't the door kicked down and all that kind of
yep,
stuff.
yep,
So he was the reason why she had to flee, and that
yeah.
put her in danger. And
Yeah,
then,
well, when I got off the phone with her, I knew she was going to call him. I knew she was, and they
yeah.
and they met up after my phone call, and argued some more. And she walked off, and he left her out there, not making sure that she got home safe that night.
So the
And now,
friend, because okay, so the misspeaking that I did actually came from the news because they the ones that told that story.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then, but then the other part, I said something about her being at her friend's house and she had left to go to the store, right? Or
she
let.
okay. So the incident, the domestic violence happened at her apartment.
Hmm.
And that evening she left her apartment and went to another apartment where it was mutual friends of her and her husband. And that's when she was trying to get a hold of a phone or something like that. That's when she called me. And she left off of 83rd Street around 9 o'clock that night. That's the apartment she was at. She lived on 68th Street.
Okay.
Now, mind you, this just goes to show you, she was on 83rd Street at that apartment, leaving that apartment. Where her and her husband ended up at arguing, I don't know. But this guy's house was on 86th,
Okay.
only
So
a few
she was
streets
on,
over.
83rd to 86 is what. So
And
she,
this house, yeah, this sick man lived in that house with her in that backyard for a while.
and
He
then
walked around that town for 10 years like nothing, like he had never done nothing.
wow, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And then, I mean, with him denying everything now, first of all, he admitted it to somebody, but now he's denying it because I seen a video, article, or something about that. But what's the point of denying it if you've already confessed to somebody? Just be honest about it at
And the
this
thing
point.
is
And what's
at
the
the
motive? Oh, well, the motive is he was mad, but she ain't have nothing to do with
yeah,
that.
he was mad. What person? This is a sick man, and this cannot be this man's first time doing this.
Nope, nope.
A person doesn't
It's
just do this
responsible.
their first time at the age of 50 and walk around like it's nothing.
Yep. They catch him, they might solve other murders.
That's where
Like the
with
lady you was working with, right? Her daughter's murderer hasn't been found, or has they? Have
they
they?
not so um when they got when they sent Desiree's case to the DA, and
Mhm.
I had went. My sister and I had went and had a sit down talk with Detective Brandenburg. I asked him at that point. This is when he was telling me what was happening. This is right after after Des's remains were found. I had asked him. I said, "Well, look, I said my daughter's case is first and foremost to me. The boys' case and this other case as well. There's other cases as well that are just as
Mhm.
important, but Devery Schiller's case is very important to me too because her mom her mom is sick. You know what I'm
She.
saying? And she needs answers. So the detective told me that when he sent Desiree's case over to the DA, he also sent Devery's case to the DA and another case, and I don't know what the other case is. So Devery's case is now the DA is now dealing with it. Um,
Mhm.
I'm hoping that the DNA that they've had all this time that they finally get it to the lab and they know who did it. They just have to be able to prove it, and the DNA will prove it.
That's just absolutely ridiculous, man. That's
Yeah,
horrible. That's
yeah.
horrible. But
They've
yeah,
had She died. She died June 26th of 2016. So she they got DNA out from underneath her fingernails,
mhm.
and they never processed it.
That
Why?
sucks.
Why would you not do that?
That's
You
crazy.
know.
I just
So
can't get over that they can just opt out of doing their job, like, and leave a family just this, like, just you can't have any closure when you don't have your loved one, you know.
no, and
So
that's the problem. So I just when we went to court. So just to let everybody, they have a lot of evidence on this guy.
do they?
So yes.
Good.
So when he was in the process of doing what he was doing to my daughter, he cut himself.
Mm.
Bad enough to go to the hospital.
Oh, really?
So he
So they
goes to
have
the
a timeline then, a little bit
they
of a
had
timeline.
they so he went to the ER and he gave an alias name. Matter of fact, the name that he went by, the um the informants didn't even know him by Jose.
So the inform. Oh, really? So he was tricking the people at the church. Did you get a
Yeah.
chance to talk to the informant personally? No.
Mm.
And so
I
we
don't
have
I
a
don't even
question.
know. They won't. First of all, I can't talk to them because they have me as a witness,
Oh, okay.
so
Okay,
I
that
can't talk
makes
to them
sense.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, how did they find out where she was?
That letter, the informant.
Yep. So Bella, there
So the
was an
letter was,
informant that
yeah,
seen her in the news that wrote a letter and
right.
confessed for the second
The
time.
good thing about him, the good thing about him, because now CCPD knows nothing about this knew nothing about this letter.
Allegedly.
Right. So this guy was smart enough to make a copy of that letter before he sent it.
I forgot about that part. I think somebody told me that part. That is
He made a
awesome.
copy of it. So
He
they
has
have
the
that
exact date that he sent it. Wow.
they have a copy of that letter now. So but the letter was very detailed. Even from what I was told, now don't quote me on this because I don't know. I haven't seen the letter.
Mhm.
From what I was told, there was even somewhat of a map
Really?
drawn out in this letter. Um, Evidently, I think this guy's been to this guy's house, been to the murderer's house. I don't know.
Probably
I
so.
would assume, you know. Um, but anyway, they They got the copy of that letter. They interviewed the informants. They got the warrant issued, not just for that house he was at, which I would feel bad for the people that live there now because they knew nothing of any of this. So
Yes.
their house was disrupted. Um, but they also had a warrant for him and a search warrant for his house. So he was under surveillance while they were in the
Digging.
backyard digging. So they dug down about 3 feet and they were going to stop. And the detective told him, no, keep going, keep going. And they dug down about another foot or so and they found her.
My God. So how do we know? How do we even know it's her? Is it by the clothes she was wearing, or I mean, well, obviously
DNA has been confirmed.
it has been confirmed. Wow, man. I know. I mean, is it
DNA was
any
confirmed
release
today.
to you? I mean, does I know that like it's bittersweet. Like you wanted to her to be found, but she's found now, and you know for a fact that she's gone. Do you
Yeah,
have any peace at all, or is it just worse or just as bad?
it's it's a piece because I know she's here,
Yeah,
she's home. Um, but it's a disturbance within my soul because it's not the way I wanted to bring her home.
I know.
But I have my baby now.
Yeah.
He won't ever know pain again.
Did you have a service?
Not yet.
No.
I have a GoFundMe up. Um, and I also have my Cash App attached to the GoFundMe so they can either or because some people don't want to.
What is your cash app?
My Cash App is the $
Uh huh.
capital J. It's Justice for Desiree. So it's
Okay.
capital J Justice, the number 4 Desiree. And yeah. And then the GoFundMe is up. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this because my mother died right after all of this happened as well. So
What? Wait, in 2012 or this year?
no, my mom passed away after Des was found.
Oh my gosh, Sheri, I'm so sorry to
Yeah,
hear that. I didn't even know that.
yeah, my mom passed away.
Well, she knows that her granddaughter was found right before she passed away.
Yeah, she did know. She had 2 bouts of COVID. After having COVID the first time, she wasn't the same.
Dang,
We were able to bring her home and everything, but she was on constant oxygen. She was never able to walk again after that. She was bedridden. And then
that's
she got
so
COVID a
sad.
second time. Um, and we brought her back home. And the day that she was sent to the emergency room, my sister couldn't get her blood pressure to go up. Her heart rate was low. Her sugars were low. She couldn't get them to go back up. So the ambulance came and picked her up and took her to the hospital. And the following day, they called us and told us we need to come and say our goodbyes. She was not going to make it through the day. Her kidneys were failing.
My God, I'm so sorry. My deepest condolences.
Thank you. I know, with my mom, it hurts, but I know my mom was tired. She was tired. That was not a quality of life for her. She was tired. She was ready to go be with my dad. So
And she
we just
told you that?
we knew that. We
Yeah.
knew it. We could see it, and we just let her know it's okay. You don't have to fight no more.
And I've
Okay.
heard that too, that people literally like when you tell your loved one that that's like they're okay to go.
Yeah, and that's what she did. Literally, we were all in there, and it was only 2 of my siblings that weren't able to be there because one of my siblings is in Israel, and the other one was up in San Luis Obispo, and he wasn't going to be able to make it there in time. So, but all the rest of us were there, grandchildren, great grandchildren. nieces, everybody was there. We packed that hospital.
Wow, I'm
And
surprised they let y'all come up there,
they
but I'm
did because it
glad
was
they
her.
did.
Yeah, they did because it was her. It was her last. This was our last time to see her,
Yeah.
and we all just let her know it's okay. We love you, and we'll see you
Jeez.
again. So,
Wow.
but,
So your mom and Desiree will be, um, because
yeah.
you'll
So
have
we'll plan.
her service this year too. So
Yep.
same year.
Yeah. So that's what's going on now. We're just trying to get both of them together and raise. I'm trying to raise the money for Des, and then life happens and other things happen, and so yeah, I'm just
So
kind of overwhelmed
you're
at this
raising
point.
money right now for her services. Is that what it is through
Yeah.
your Cash App? So you
Uh-huh.
guys, if you find it in your budget and in your heart, please feel free to donate to Justice for $Justice number 4 Desiree, and I'm gonna type it in here, and let's help get Desiree in her resting place. Um, if you can do anything, I know I'm gonna donate something when I get off of here. Justice for
Yeah, this is it right here.
Desiree.
You guys see it? Oops.
Oh,
Let me
it's
go
got
back.
her Justice for. Wait.
What? Hold up. There we go.
Okay. Yep. Justice for Desiree. Got it
We're
right
going too
there.
phone call. Yeah, so but yeah, this with this guy, the evidence that they have, so they like I said, they had him under surveillance while they were getting her. Um I went out there because that day I got an alert from for AV News Crew, and I pulled it up on my phone real quick and I looked and I saw Cal City human remains, and I just stopped for a minute and I switched the video to my TV, and I was sitting on the edge of my bed and I'm just looking up at the TV, and at that moment I was like, this is Desiree.
Oh my God, I got chills. So that's how you
I
found
knew
out.
it was I knew it was my daughter. I just looked up at that TV, and a few minutes later Matt had messaged me and he was like, are you there? And I was like, no. I said, should I be? He said, call me. So I called him, and he told me, he said, look, they're not confirming or denying. They said it's absolutely has nothing to do with the boys' case, and that it's an old case.
So you
I said,
knew it was
and
Desiree.
I told him at that point, I said, that's my daughter. That's my daughter. I'm on my way.
Oh my
And
God.
when I was getting ready to leave, my granddaughter, I told her, I said, look, I'm getting ready to go out to Cal City. This is concerning your mom. And she was like, can I go? And I was like, look, I explained to her what they were out there doing.
Mhm.
And I
Did she
said,
know?
yeah, she went with me.
Is that your granddaughter that always cover her hair up?
Yep. She
Oh, that
doesn't do
is
it anymore.
awesome. She
She doesn't
don't.
do it anymore.
Ever
Mm-mm.
since they found.
She has blossomed in the last, I say, 8 months. She has just she's just a different person now. She still has her moments, but she doesn't cover
Mhm.
herself up. She talks more. I can now hug her.
Oh,
We
that's
laugh and
nice.
we joke together. Um, she's just a different person. I think this helped her a lot. You
That
know,
is so good. Man. She was
yeah.
the
So
baby. She was the four
she
year old,
actually went
right?
up. Huh?
She was the 4 year old at the time, right? That
Right,
told you
right,
stuff.
right. So she actually went out there with me. She didn't get out of the truck. She sat in the truck, and I kept checking her. You okay? You okay? She was like, yes. And I'm like, okay. And so, we stayed out there for a while. The detectives, as soon as I pulled up, they came out and immediately talked to me. Still didn't want to confirm or deny,
Yeah.
but did say that they had the suspect, and they had a lot of evidence on the suspect. And I said,
So
okay.
at that moment, that's when you learned about the suspect for the first time.
No, he had called me like probably a few weeks before and asked me.
Hmm.
He asked me like, "How friendly was your daughter? Would she have gotten in the car with a stranger?" I was like, "She was friendly, but she wasn't stupid, and no, she wouldn't have
Hmm.
gotten in the car with a stranger."
Especially
He
some
says, "Well,
old
I have,
creep looking guy like
yeah." He says, "I have another suspect." I said, "Oh." But in my head, I'm thinking, okay, you have another suspect, but you haven't even talked to the first suspect.
that.
You know,
Right.
you haven't even
Right.
eliminated the first one yet. So, I wasn't putting a lot into that at that point.
What they were
But
saying. Hmm.
right, but when we got out there and they're pulling her out the ground, and he started telling me about, the suspect and the evidence, that they had a lot of evidence credible evidence on this person, not just credible evidence. Um,
Yeah.
and I said, okay. And at that point, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna have to change my mindset that there
Hmm.
is somebody else and it's not Edward. And so
Yeah.
I just went from there. And when I left there that evening, I had to stop in Mojave to pick up my grandson, my daughter's youngest son. And so I picked him up and we stopped and I sent the kids into McDonald's. At that point, I'm sitting in my car. I said, "You guys go in and get you some McDonald's. I'm going to sit here and look at my messages," because my phone was just blowing up. And so Matt called me
Hmm.
and he told me, "Look," he says, um, "look, there's going to be an arrest made at either tonight or tomorrow." I said, "Okay." I was good with that. So I got from Mojave to my sister's house, which is probably maybe about 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Hmm.
Walking to my As I'm walking in my sister's house, my phone is ringing. It's the detective. The detective tells me, "Are you with family?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Good." And he said, "I want to let you know that we did find remains," because they didn't even want to tell me whether they found remains or not.
Yeah, it
And
sucks when
while
they.
I was out, I think it was just because me being out there, they didn't want to tell me at that point. They wanted to wait
Yeah.
until I was around family to tell me that they had pulled her out.
Hmm.
So
That makes sense too.
yeah. So I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm with family," and he was like, "Good." He said, "I also want to let you know that we made an arrest," and that was like tons lifted off of me at that point. Now I'm trying to find out who this guy is. And so he gave me the name and
Yeah.
everything. We're trying to pull him up and this and that, and he's not showing any kind of records or anything like that. Just a DUI and this murder case.
Hmm.
So I'm like, who the heck doesn't have some sort of a record? Or he's just really good at hiding stuff, but he wasn't that. It can't
Yeah.
be that good. He got caught this time. You know what I'm saying? He got caught.
Yeah.
So
Only because he opened his mouth. And that's
got
crazy.
drunk and fucked. So I don't know if they're going to bring other witnesses in that he spoke to or not.
Yeah, they should
I
be
don't
bringing
know.
witnesses from the party to let us know what the hell he was doing in the party. What kind of creep is
That
he?
too.
I guarantee
W-
you he got other bodies, man.
Well, I know the first court date that we went to was they had lab people there. They had an
Hmm.
anthropologist there. They had a guy from property and evidence. They had the informants. They had the detectives from when the case first started. Um, and there was a little old man, and I was like, I don't know who this guy is. Who's he? What is he in all this? But it turns out that this other little old Hispanic guy was actually the owner of the house that he that they found her at. He owned that house back then. He had sold the house years later to the people who have it now.
Oh, I
So they
didn't
had to
realize that
determine
the
because
people
they,
who had it now on the
yeah.
house.
Well, the thing is so they when we were there, and the reason why I'm a witness is because they had to set a timeline. The timeline is that okay, the domestic violence happened at such a time. I spoke to her at this time, and now all of a sudden this guy is in the picture. This guy's lived in
Yeah.
this house X amount of time. He was only his wife had died a year or two prior, so he was the only person living in that house to detour, to let them know that there's no possible way there was anybody else living in that house that could have done this but him.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they
Wow.
did. That's what they did. They
Okay.
set all that up. But now, mind you, they got the knife that he stabbed her with, and he buried it in the grave with her.
What? Oh, wow.
There was a rope used, which I I believe they probably have that too. Um,
Well,
when
great.
they, yeah,
Sound like a slam dunk.
when they arrested him, he, I guess he was walking his dog and had went to this little market out there. Um, when they arrested him, he handed them the keys and asked them to take his dog back to the house. Well, they already had the search warrant for the house, so they went in the house, and that's where they found the machete on his dresser.
A machete.
Yep. So I'm not going to go into graphic details, but you can imagine what he did with the machete. Mind you, my daughter was 240 pounds, give or take. He was, and she was 5'5". She's about 5'5". This
Damn,
man was
I ain't.
5'2" and half her size.
Did he have help?
Nope.
He
He
could have
did it
had
all by
help.
himself.
They
No help.
wow. I'm
Did
gonna
it.
go to the chat because it is some people in here giving you love and showing support. Sophie says
Thank you,
sending you my
everybody.
love and prayers. Sheri, how you what you fought for justice is so inspirational for your daughter. It's beautiful.
Thank
Danny
you.
L said that he loves you as what I know that you're not, really reading the comments, but I'll put them up so you can see them if you want to read them. Um, let me see.
Thank you, everybody, for all the love and support.
Danielle
I
says, "Oh
appreciate
my
it.
heart, I love you." Yeah, it's a lot of comments. If y'all have a question though, put a question mark, and I'll try to ask her a question, and then she could read the comments later.
Yeah.
Because I really don't
Yeah.
there too much while she's talking.
And then going into court and actually seeing this man, just this man has no remorse. He acts like it's nothing. Literally like it's nothing. He's sitting in
Yeah,
court like,
I bet you he didn't expect this though.
oh, he
Like
told
he
the
don't
police,
understand what's
bring
going
it.
on.
He told the police, bring it.
He
Bring it.
did.
He's cocky.
What did he really? Did he really think they wasn't gonna bring it? Because I mean, he got all the evidence they need buried in the grave with her. So that's so great that he was that damn dumb to do that. Perfect, and to tell on himself. Stupid criminals. Yeah. I'm happy he did all of that. It was 10 years later, but it didn't have to be that long later if they would have just did their damn job. But we
Yeah.
here
And
today,
I don't,
evidence.
it's like it's like, because I had a friend of mine that I haven't talked to in forever. Matter of fact, since my daughter was probably about 3, 4 years old, is the last time I talked to her. We lost contact. And she found me through Facebook, and she was asking me, she was like, well, there's no chance of a plea bargain or anything like that. I was like, nope, not happening on my watch. That is nothing to plea
Man,
bargain with.
plea bargain, nothing. Ain't nothing.
There's nothing to plea
He
bargain
shouldn't get the
with,
death penalty. He done been free
you
enough
know.
years. It's
But you
time
know
for him
what?
to sit all the way
And,
down.
and yeah, and with as far as the death penalty, first of all, the man's 60 years old right now. They'd never get to that far. He died before they get to that part.
Yeah, because they
Um,
be on death row
second of
20
all,
some years.
yeah. Second of all, I don't want that. I don't want death penalty. I want that man walking in general population with everybody else having to look over his shoulder and sleep with one eye open because they don't like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff in prison. And I made that
Mm.
perfectly clear to the DA and to the detective. I don't want no type of deals, no nothing. I don't want death penalty, even if it was a possibility. I don't want it. I want him to rot.
I feel you on that. I really do.
I don't care
Sit
if my
your ass
taxpaying
down and
dollars
take
gotta
this
pay for
time.
him being in there.
We got to
I
pay
don't
for
care if my
somebody any damn way.
you know, I don't care if my taxpaying dollars gotta pay for him to sit up in there and rot. I want to see him rot
Yeah.
because if you do the death penalty and they were to whatever they do to him, electrocute him, inject him, whatever they do to him now, that's an easy way out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's an easy way out. I don't want that. I don't want nothing easy for him.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know, nothing. He he doesn't deserve nothing. He doesn't deserve the air he's breathing right now. But you
No, he
know,
don't.
he, he's the one that's got to go before God. Judgment day
And
coming.
trust me, God don't deal with him. That's for sure.
Mhm.
I was
Because what?
really shocked about all of this,
So basically,
especially
okay,
knowing it wasn't
he
her husband.
he's arrested and charged with first degree murder. This is premeditated. He premeditated all of this. The victim wasn't premeditated, but the actions were premeditated. So
Hmm.
therefore, he didn't care. He made it perfectly clear when he told the informants he didn't care who it was. He was going to kill somebody, and he did.
He told the church
So
people that
yeah,
after the fact, right?
yeah. After he had already done it, after he told all the gory details of what he did to her, everything what he did to her, and then I got mad because after all this came out, um, somebody with KGET 17, which is not Christian. I like Christian, and I'll deal with Christian. This person was
Hmm.
somebody I've never heard of before. Puts out this uh uh posted something, and it was documents. They went to the court, got court documents, and put all these gory details out there of what he did. I mean, not every little detail, but it's extremely graphic. That
What?
Matt called, yes, very graphic. Matt called me and told me, "Have you seen this?" And I said, "No." He's like, "Look, before you go look at it," he said, "I have to let you know you're not going to be able to unsee this, and it's very gory and very graphic." He said, "Call me back." I said, "Okay." I go to it and I read it. As I'm reading it, I'm shaking, I'm crying. My heart is jumping out of my chest.
Mm, my God.
I'm crying, I'm angry. Every emotion you could think of was rushing through me at that point in time. And I called him back, and then I called my oldest son, and I sent it to my oldest son, and then I called the news station. I chewed him out. I went off on him for even putting that out there. And he tells me, "Well, it's public knowledge." I said, "No, it's not. No, it's not. I wasn't even told yet. I don't even know those details. Now I do, thanks to you. But she has children. They don't need to see this on freaking social media." And when
Did
we
they
tried to
remove it?
Nope. He said we tried to be uh how do you say that? We tried to think of the family, and be courteous of their feelings or whatever the hell he said. And I was like, check this out. That wasn't.
They should have
That
called
was
you.
that's what I said. You should have called me to see if I even know this information first. And
Yeah.
how I felt about you publicizing that, you know? And so by this time it's going, you know how social media is. It's like a
Yeah.
wildfire. I'm panicked. I gotta stop it. How do I stop it? I called up there, I chewed him out. My son called up there, he chewed him out. My neighbor, she called up there, she chewed him out. There was other people that called up there and chewed him out. It's like, how could you do this? You're so inconsiderate. That's what he said.
Yes.
We try to be considerate of the family. That was the most inconsiderate thing you could have done.
I mean, they don't usually give graphics, and they know that it's a guy.
They,
It's a guy arrested, so it's going to be a trial. Like, why would they think that's okay? They just
exactly.
wanted to be the
Why would
first ones to
anybody
put it out.
approve? Right. Why would anybody approve that even being publicized? You know? And so I'm just like, I'm trying to stop it. I'm trying to block it on Facebook. I'm trying to report it. Whatever I can do to stop it. And finally, 2 days later, because I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to tell these kids, I can't let the kids see it. And all I can do is pray and just ask God, please let them be blinded and not see this. Let them
Hmm.
not see this at all. And they didn't. They didn't. I talked to them 2 days
Wow.
later,
Thank God.
and God
And
kept them from seeing that those posts. And so I talked to them and I told them, please, what if you don't see me on there, don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. I said, but this particular post will say docs on it. It'll have documents on there. And you can find it on the KGET website.
hmm
Um but I told him, I said, please don't look at it. It's extremely graphic. It's detailed. You guys, this is things you guys don't need to know. And so I wasn't worried about the younger ones seeing it. I was worried about the two older ones seeing it because they have Facebook. The younger two don't. They don't even deal with Facebook. Um, and so
sorry you had to
the
see,
old the,
learn about it that way, man.
right, and the
Damn.
oldest one told me, he said, well, we're gonna find out in court anyway. I said, I will bear that burden. These are things you don't need to know. I'm protecting you. You do not need to know this. You need to remember your mom as you remember your mom.
Yeah, man.
You don't need to
Damn.
know these details. Um,
I did.
they're they're horrific. It's horrific what he did.
See, I didn't even know. I don't even know the information you're talking about. But I do know, like, if you read articles, you get more information. I didn't know nothing about a machete till you said it out your mouth.
Yeah,
Wow. Damn, man.
and he kept the machete like a trophy.
Any chances he might have killed his own wife? Brooklyn Squad
No,
7.
I think it's he got he's. I guess he got angry after his wife died or something. But as far as I
Oh,
know,
so
his
he
wife
want to
died.
hurt the
She died of
world.
cancer. I think she died of cancer or something. Um, but you still can't tell me this man hasn't done this before. He comes from a very violent country,
Mexico?
and for he can't come from El Salvador.
El Salvador. Okay, you did say that.
Yeah, it's a very, 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 very violent country. Um, and
That's why he
they
fled.
they see this kind of stuff on a day to day basis. So, I don't know if maybe he's just numb to it because over there this is
Hmm.
natural. This happens all the time. This is natural. Um,
Well, he should have
it's
stayed over
just
there with it. With them.
yeah. I'm just like I I just can't fathom how this man could get that angry. How can you be that angry? because you got pushed down for being someplace that you weren't even freaking invited to.
I
How
hope
do you
they
do
are
that?
able to get. I hope they're able to get a hold of those kids or who, whatever party he was at. I hope he can get. They can get a hold of those people.
Right.
When do you have to go back to court? When does trial start? Or
Okay, so they have they gave us three different dates this last time. We went to a readiness hearing was the last date. So they're gonna have a motions hearing, which I don't have to go to that because that's basically just the judge and the attorneys in there. Um, and then there's another readiness hearing on the 27th of August, and then trial is set for August 29th, but that date's not going to happen.
really, why?
Yeah. Because so right now, and this is typical in the court system, unfortunately, um, dates get put off and put off and put off and put off. They're telling me we probably won't see trial for a year. I'm
Okay,
hoping not. I'm hoping God creates
come
miracles
on,
every
man.
day. So I'm hoping it doesn't take a year because this is pretty cut and dry. Um,
Hmm.
but the even the this next readiness hearing, that one will probably happen, but court dates will jump. And the court system up there, these DAs and attorneys are overwhelmed with high profile cases. Because he's at the same courthouse as the boys' case is at, as the case of what was it, the missing three up there,
The missing
and
three.
a lot of other. So
Wow.
they're overwhelmed.
Still
The
though,
DA,
man, listen.
yeah, the DA and
This
the attorneys
man,
are
it's been
overwhelmed.
10 years. It's been 10 damn years. They need to jump her up, jump that case up
Yeah,
there, and get rid of it. Get you. I
I
mean,
feel
you've
like
been tortured for so long. Like, come on.
right. I feel like the case is, like I said, pretty cut and dry. I
Yeah,
don't see any.
it sound like a slam dunk.
Yeah,
They got
I
all the
mean,
evidence they
so
need.
he cut himself, so his DNA is in there in that house. When they did forensics went in there, his DNA is everywhere. Her DNA was everywhere.
In that
He went to
house.
the hospital. He went to the hospital. Well, hello. You know, come on. It's
Anytime it's a case like that, they always stab themselves up. Always, they always cut themselves. So that, oh my God, I'm glad they
he
got
cut
the
himself.
medical
He must have
records.
cut himself bad enough to go, but he
So,
gave an alias name when he went there. So, but
mm,
it's all the pieces of the puzzle coming together, and now it's just to the get the trial going and justice to be served. Now, the detective told me that when it comes down to when the coroner comes in and gives his statement and starts showing pictures and graphic stuff, he said you might not want to be there because on top of him just stabbing her, he tried to burn my daughter.
oh my God, jeez, and all of this stuff was in in the information you were just telling us about the
Mm-hmm.
graphic details.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Oh, there's more. There's more graphic details. Um, you know, the detective, when I talked to him, he asked me, he said, well, how much information do you want me to give you? And at that point, I looked at him and I already knew I didn't want to know what he knew at that point. So I just told him what I read was more than enough for me right now. I don't think I could handle, and my brain already works overtime, so I can pretty much
Hmm.
put the pieces of the puzzle together of what he did because
Yeah.
you consider 240 pounds of dead weight and you're half that size. you're not going to be able to move that body in whole. You can't. It's not going to happen.
My God.
And when
So I
I asked him, because in the report, in one of those postings and one of those articles, it said that that he moved her body to Cantillo, California, and that um, but they found her in California City. So at that point, I asked him. I said, "Look," and this is another reason why I knew what he had done. It's just like intuition. I just zoomed in on what his reaction was and his facial expressions. I said, "Look, I need to know, was she moved? Is she in two places?"
mm,
And he said, "No, she was not moved." I said, "So you're telling me she was whole?" And he said, "She's buried. She's buried. Her remains were there."
so he never directly answered that question. He kind of danced
No,
around it.
I know what happened, because the only way this guy, why do you think he needed the machete?
Yeah.
It's the only way he could have moved her.
Damn.
You know,
So it's true that he moved her. Why? I mean,
he didn't move
I
her.
don't know.
He didn't. He did not move her.
Oh, okay.
He dug in that backyard all night long and buried her. Then he put a tarp and a piece of plywood over the grave.
That's how. So that's how it's been this whole time. No
Hmm?
cement over it. It was a tarp and some wood.
Tarp and some wood. I don't know what the yard looked like because I'm sure those people had been in their backyard. I'm sure that tarp and wood was no longer there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure that
Yeah, because
wasn't there anymore.
I
But
thought
they
I seen cement. I thought I seen cement
no,
by the area, but I mean I'm on the TV looking at it.
yeah, but he buried her in the backyard and continued his life like nothing ever happened.
Unreal.
So
I wanted to
you
know
know,
how many kids did Desiree have again?
she had four.
She
She
had
was
four.
pregnant. She was 3 months pregnant,
Yes, I remember you telling me that you
but they
found out
can't.
she was pregnant.
Yeah, they can't determine that.
They can't tell you if it's facts or not.
Yeah, because number one, it's been over 10 years, and
Mhm.
a 3 month old fetus is not going to be viable that long to be able for them to be able to detect. And she hadn't gone to the hospital yet or to the doctor yet. So
But a reliable source told you that she was?
yeah,
Okay. I'm gonna let a couple of these videos play because it's gonna jog my memory because it was something else I wanted to ask. And are you okay with answering questions from the chat?
sure.
Okay, so if y'all have any questions, now is the time to type them. I'll be looking for them, and I'm gonna let these videos play.
It's been 10 years since Sheri Smith last heard her daughter's voice.
I miss. I'm sorry. She was just a beautiful person.
Desiree Thompson's says to her daughter's whereabouts after all these years, leave disheartened.
I'm so frustrated with this case. Close my daughter on justice to be served. I don't want everybody held accountable.
According to Smith, the morning of January 7th, 2012, she went to go see her daughter Desiree, who told her she'd been in an argument with her estranged husband. She said it was here at their home on 68th Street in Cal City that he threatened Desiree with a shotgun. Later that evening, Smith says her daughter was at an acquaintance's house using their cell phone and that she wanted to go back to her home that night. The next day, Smith went to her daughter's home to find she wasn't there. Another acquaintance said she never returned that night and they reported her missing. Smith said she called back the number Desiree had used the night before, and the owner of the phone said Desiree had gone to the Cactus Mini Mart to buy a cigarette. It was here on 83rd Street that Desiree was last seen.
For someone without a trace, of course, that's unusual.
Cass City Police Chief John Walker said Desiree's estranged husband, Edward, is a person of interest and has a history of domestic violence. But he says so far, they've yet to find concrete evidence connecting him to Desiree's disappearance that night.
Because you only get one shot. You only get one bite of the apple. So if you don't have enough to convict them and they walk, the double jeopardy thing comes in.
A former investigator on the case said the department has worked hard and is actively investigating cold cases like Desiree's. Turn and a lack of resources over the years has made it difficult. Chief Walker saying the difficulty with cases isn't a lack of resources, but making it right all the way through to conviction.
We're pretty sure we still know where to find him if need be. And now we got that nugget of evidence to say, hey, this person actually.
I just wanted to say that I'm playing, something that I think this says it was like 4 months ago. So obviously this is the older information that they were looking into before, but now
you know what? I never even saw this video. I never saw that video before. I never seen that video, and half of what she said wasn't even. Half of what she said wasn't even what I said.
I know, but that's where I was getting my information from.
That's the media for you. They put it in their own words. It's I don't have that problem with Christian.
Thank you, Tracy, for dropping the GoFundMe. So anybody that don't have Cash App, you can donate through GoFundMe. Let's try to get 100 from us today. Let's please, if y'all have it, let's try to get her $100 before she leave here. I know the man above said that he would donate. I don't know if he did. So if you could just check your Cash App just to make sure. But yes, please let's let Desiree rest finally. And I'm gonna let this keep playing, especially since you never seen it. So
I never seen this one.
We have the DNA to prove it. We have an eyewitness. We have video.
Smith taking little solace in this, saying she knows there are witnesses to the domestic dispute that evening, and she knows her daughter would never leave her children and go this long without any contact.
When does your conscience start working? When does the compassion come in to help these families?
Now, there is a $25,000 reward for any information regarding this case. Anyone with information is asked to call Cal.
I'm so sorry, Sheri. What part is it? Any part in here that bothers you, or besides
it's
the
okay.
whole story?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Okay, we love you. We love you. Everybody is saying they love you.
I love you guys too. I love you all too.
City PD at 760-373-8606.
Desiree Thompson, who went missing from California City back in 2000, is now asking questions about the man who has been arrested in connection to her daughter's murder. 17's Christian Galeno in studio tonight with Christian.
Smith prayed for 10 years that to hug her daughter once again. A decade later, her patience has run thin, and a twist in the case confirms her worst fears, but leaves her even more confused. The day Desiree Thompson disappeared without a trace was the day Sheri Smith, her son Edward Gibson III, done the unimaginable.
It's mind-boggling. I'm still trying to process this, and I can't.
A difficult thing to accept that 60-year-old Jose William Lara, a complete stranger to Desiree's family, is suspected of her death.
I never would have thought in a million years that I'd be standing here right now with that person being a suspect.
A decades-old case was another file gathering dust among several California City cold cases. A $25,000 reward was put in place to hopefully get the wheels of justice moving. In a statement to 17 News, California City Mayor Jeannie O'Loughlin says no one has claimed the reward yet. Quote, I have not heard any mention of anyone claiming the reward. Our reward is based on arrest and conviction. I have yet to receive confirmation of the identity of the body, so I reserve comment for now.
We received some information. We believe enough information that go ahead and obtain a search warrant for this location. We believe occurred a year ago.
Friday's search ended in the discovery of human remains, which have yet to be identified.
At the end of the day, this is bittersweet because it's not the way I wanted to bring my daughter home, but I'm able to bring her home now. And now it's time for justice.
Now you can find all of the coverage on Desiree Thompson's story, as well as a timeline that traces her last steps on our website, kget.com. Reporting in studio, Christian Galeto, 17 News.
Families with no answers about their missing loved ones continue to show support at these monthly community prayer events in Cal City. 17's Christian Galeno spoke with them, whose daughter has been missing for almost a decade. Christian?
Yeah, Jim, Sheri Smith has lived close to 10 years wondering where her Desiree Thompson could be. This is yet another stolen person's case in California City. Saturday, January 7th, 2012. That morning was the last time Sheri Smith saw her daughter Desiree. Desiree had been in a domestic dispute with her estranged husband.
I knew there had been problems. It's her first marriage. She loved him. She thought she could fix him. Got there and went out the house. I could see that she had all the furniture piled up against the door.
Sheri says, and I saw Desiree later at a local liquor store. At 8:30 p.m., Sheri spoke with Desiree on a cell phone Desiree borrowed from friends of her husband.
Well, she had asked me, yeah, he has. It was typical for him to call me when they had issues or fights, arguments.
That's the last time Sheri spoke with Desiree. After news broke of her missing daughter, Sheri called the phone Desiree used that afternoon.
My daughter has not been seen or heard from since that day.
January will mark 10 years of no answers, no clues, and many unanswered questions. Sheri says she hasn't heard from Desiree's husband since Desiree's disappearance.
Why else you be running? This is your wife. This is the person that you vowed to love.
Counties continue to investigate the case and deem Desiree's husband, Edward Gibson III, as a person of interest. As for she's found solace alongside other families.
Found a connection that, I'm sorry. I found a connection that it is unbreakable.
Well, there is a $25,000 reward being offered in this case. Cal City PD doesn't know if Gibson III remains in the state, but the investigator in charge told me that a lack of resources and turnaround personnel over the year has delayed. Any information that can lead to Desiree's whereabouts provided to Cal City PD at area code 760-373-8606. In studio, Christian Galeno, 17 News.
17 Court Watch now. The man accused of killing a woman 10 years ago in California City pleaded not guilty today in court. Jose William Lara was arrested last month after informants led investigators to the remains of who is believed to be Desiree Thompson, a woman originally reported missing in 2012. Court documents say the informants told Cal City police that had been talking about in detail how he killed a woman fitting the description of Thompson and buried her in the backyard of a home he was renting at one point in the city. During a search warrant, police located human remains in the backyard and what appeared to be blood on a bedroom floor in the home, both of which are believed to belong to Thompson. Lara is due back in court on May 5th.
just want to say you did it. You never gave up. You never gave up. You knew your baby would be found, and you was not gonna rest until she was. And I just want to tell y'all how I met Sheri. I met her when Orrin and Orson West case came about because she used to hang on Nina Boy's channel all the time. She would be up there all the time, and she was letting us know how Cal City was and how they don't do their job and how they were not helping to find her daughter. And so she was being the voice for the boys and as well for her daughter. At that time, she had not connected with Roro and Keyshaw Day yet, but they have since connected. And I mean, they have an unbreakable bond. If you heard her in
Family,
that news
family.
story, they are family. Yep. And let me tell you, because she teamed up with them, that kept Desiree's face out there. She was no longer by herself. All these years, Sheri has been fighting by herself. And now she has a circle of family that's unbreakable. And I'm so happy that this happened. And then look at it. They're both getting justice at the same time. Like, this is
You
God.
know, it was really crazy because at the New Year, I I said a prayer and I claimed justice for both those cases this year. I claimed this year as the year of justice for both cases,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I kept telling Ro and Keith and Jennifer, I was like, look, I was like, this is going to be the year of justice for all of us at some point. Well, March 1st, the adopted parents got arrested, and right after they got arrested, Ro was like, hey, Desiree's next. Desiree's
It's
next.
on the way.
By the 25th of March, they were bringing my baby up.
Wow, man, look at God. Look at God. I remember when Keish and Ro came up here and they was telling me how the prayer, they said they really believe that prayer changed these people's hearts because they literally was not coming out talking to y'all. They were being mean and rude and not, making the phone calls to keep them up to date. And then all of a sudden it just switched and then look what happened.
Hmm. Prayer
Nothing but
changes
God.
it. So much people don't understand.
I
I
believe it.
stand on prayer. I'm telling you, I wouldn't have made it this far. I wouldn't have made
I
it this far without my faith in God because I knew He had to prepare me for what I was about to find out.
Yeah.
And I feel, well, if it took 10 years for Him to prepare me to be strong enough, then that's what it took. You know, would I wanted to know right away? Yes, but could I have handled it right away? Probably not.
Thank
God
you
does
so much,
things.
the man above. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
He sent 40
God
to
does
your cash
things.
app, and I sent 25 to your cash app.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
God does. Thank you, everybody. God does things in a manner that we don't understand. Um, and if we just be patient, um, our answers will come. It
Hmm.
takes time. We just have to have faith and belief in Him that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew my daughter was going to come home, but I claimed this year as the year of justice, and I meant that
And I
it was
remember
going
seeing the
to
flyer that said that too. This is the year
come.
of just 2022 is the year of
Absolutely,
justice. I did see
absolutely.
that
And
on Rose page.
I'm hoping at this point that because this man's DNA is now in the system,
I hope they
that
find some more.
if there's anything else this man has ever done, it'll start popping up now.
I
It'll
hope so
start popping
too.
up because
I
I
bet you it
just
will.
can't. Yeah, I just can't get over the fact of how nonchalant he is about what he did. If a person, I would think, if a person for the first murder somebody for the first time, you would be paranoid, nervous. Um, you would um probably move away, not stay in the same town, let alone stay in the same house that you did it in for any
Right.
length of time. you would try to get the heck up out of here. Well, you're illegal. Why didn't you go back to your country?
He
You'd have
could have
never
did
been
that.
found,
Yep.
but you didn't. You stayed here.
Because he was
You stayed
comfortable in
here.
his shit. He was
Yep.
comfortable in his shit. He probably
Yeah. So
had gotten
you
comfortable.
thought, and then with the cocky attitude that he has, yeah, well, bring it. Well, they're gonna bring it.
Well, they need to open up those DNAs that they haven't looked at yet. It might be him all over it, you know. You never know. But I'm
I,
with
I,
you. I don't believe it was
I
his
don't put
first
nothing.
time.
At this point, I don't put nothing. Like this twist was so unbelievable.
That's what blew me away the most. I mean, my mouth was wide open when I heard it wasn't her husband because I was like, that was the only suspect.
Me too, because he made everything. He made himself look so guilty.
Yes.
Everything he did from the time the domestic violence happened to now, he's made himself look guilty.
He
And I've
has.
told
Like,
him, if you
he
didn't
didn't
have
even.
anything, I gave him the opportunity. If you don't have anything to do with her disappearance, come forward. Would he have gotten some time at that time? Probably so. If he had came forward at that moment, he probably would have got arrested and he probably would have did time. Because he was already on parole for domestic violence. Hello? You use a firearm. You're a felon with a firearm. That's a
Do you
violation.
want to? Can you tell us? Because there's a lot of people in here that don't know Desiree's story. So can you tell us what made you think that it was him without a shadow of a doubt? Because I mean, I interviewed you and I know it was no other suspect. So they had gotten
Right.
into a fight or something. What happened prior to
So
this?
he like I said, he was on parole for domestic violence on my daughter already. They were living together. She put him out that night because she got tired of dealing. He was very rude, very disrespectful at times. He was very demeaning to her, and abusive.
Now this was her husband,
And
and
this
how
is
long
her
had they been?
husband.
How long had they been married or together?
They had been
Long
together like, I think, 2 or 3 years. I married for, I think, a year or two.
And none of her children are his, correct?
None. The one
Right.
she was pregnant with would have been his.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple weeks prior to all this stuff happening, I had stopped dealing with him altogether because I had taken them to the Rite Aid out there in California City. And my daughter was trying to set up one of those green dot cards so his mother could send money to him. And so Autism Mom, yes, you are family too. I see her message.
I'm glad you're looking because
She's
she
like another
rooting for
daughter.
you, boy.
She's like another daughter. I love her to death. Anyway, he started getting very rude and disrespectful, calling her out her name. She was all kind of bees and this and that, and degrading her and all this in front of me. And I went off.
Wow.
I went off. And then I told him, I said, look, you're not going to do that to her, especially not in front of me, and think you're going to get away with that. And then I told him, I said, if she did that to you, I would tell her the same thing.
Yeah.
That's not how we solve issues. That we don't do that. And so I told my daughter at that time, I said, look, I'm not going to I don't want nothing to do with him anymore. I said, I'll do anything for you and the kids, but don't call me needing anything for him. Not a ride, not nothing. I said, if you need me, I'm there. But I'm done with him. And then all of a sudden, 2-3 weeks later, all of this happens. So he had been going out. Obviously, he had been cheating because we found out more stuff after all the investigation stuff started going on with him. Obviously, he was cheating. He was doing drugs. He was drinking heavily, all this kind of stuff. And so this particular night or day, they had So friend of one of his homeboys were at the house and his homeboy had his girl with him. And they were all sitting around, whatever. The guys left. So my daughter and the young lady were sitting there at the house just chilling. Well, it's in the middle of the night and he's out gallivanting around and this and that. And she knows what he's doing. So she packed all his stuff up. She put it outside the door. And she called him and told him, I'm done. Come get your stuff. Gone. So he came back the first time, banged on the door. She wouldn't let him in. She already knew what was going to happen. So she didn't let him in. So him and his friend left. They came back a little bit later. When they came back later, he kicked the door in. When he kicked the door in, the whole framing around the door, everything was gone. He came in. He went off on her. At some point, there was a knife involved where he had put the knife to her stomach. And he had a shotgun to her face. He had put a shotgun to her face and told her it would be her last breath when he left.
Wow.
His homeboy got in between him and the gun, or her and the gun, I should say, and was able to get Edward out of the house, and they left. He took his girlfriend with him at that point. So my daughter, mind you, my granddaughter saw the shotgun in her mom's face. She was 4 years old. So after that, my daughter, when they had left the house and drove off, my daughter grabbed my granddaughter and ran to the neighbor's house because I guess Edward had did something to her cell phone. It broke it or something. I don't know. And so she went to the neighbor's house to try to borrow their phone. Mind you, all this is going on and this is like the wee hours of the morning, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. So she goes over there. They open the door. She calls the police. Police come, take the report. Well, by the time Edward's friend dropped him off. Now, mind you, they're in Edward's car, but the friend is driving. By the time they dropped Edward off, wherever they dropped him off at out there, they drove to the Fast Strip gas station on Cal City Boulevard to put gas in the car. He went inside to pay for the gas. When he came out, the gas station was surrounded by police. They took him into custody. They took him in because he had a couple of minor warrants. They took her down to the station and he ended up taking her back to my daughter's house. Neither one of them, to my knowledge, were very familiar with Cal City. I don't know about the friend so much, but I know the young lady was not familiar with Cal City at all. And so they impounded the car and they took Edward's friend to jail. He was released a couple days later, or whatever, because like I said, his warrants were minor. Edward was missing from that time on. The next all this is going on. I don't even know what's going on. So then the following morning, I'm trying to call my daughter. I don't know, her phone is broke. I'm just not getting no answer. So I decided to go over to her house. And when I got there, she told me to go through the sliding glass door. I didn't really think much of it because my daughter's a clean freak and I figured she was probably in there cleaning or doing something. So I just went through the sliding glass door. And when I went in, out of my peripheral, I see all the furniture piled up in front of the front door, blocking the front door. And at that point, I was like, what the hell happened? What happened? And she started telling me the events of that night and how he had pulled the gun on her. She never mentioned the knife to me. I found out about the knife through my granddaughter about 4 years ago. I never knew about the knife until about 4 years ago.
Oh my God, really? That baby remember a lot.
Yeah. So at that point I told her, I said, well, you and your friend need to come on and just come to my house. And my daughter was like, no, I don't want to leave my house, Mom. This is my house. I don't want to leave my home. And I was like, okay, but you need to come home with me for your safety right now. She didn't want to leave. I said, okay, you're grown. I can't make you go. You're an adult. I can't make you go, but the baby's going with me. So I took the baby and I went home. I told my daughter, I said, look, call me later if you need me, whatever. If you got to use the neighbor's phone, whatever, I'll try to see if how I can get you a phone or something. She was like, okay. So evidently, around 6 p.m., she left her apartment and left the young lady there. She left her apartment to go get a cigarette from the little liquor store, which is just a short ways away from her apartment. She went, got the cigarette, supposedly, and then went over to this other person's house, which is mutual friends of her and her friends, which is the 83rd Street house apartment. She went over there. That's when she called me. That was at 8:30 that night. So we had our conversation, and I told her, I said, well, look, my daughter had signed up for college classes, so she had grant money coming, which is money she was planning on using to move. So she asked me, had the grant money came yet? And I was like, no. And so she said that that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to just move and get her another place away from him, whatever. And I said, okay. So then she was like, she asked me had he called, and I told her, yeah, just leave it alone. She asked me what number he called from, and I told her. And I told her, just leave it alone. I said, if he wants to change, he'll change on his own. Right now, you put him out, leave it at that. You can't change anybody, and you don't need to be involved in this. I understand that you believe in your marriage, but at the same time, not all marriages work out. Sometimes you have to get away. And this right here is a sign to get away. So she was like, okay, Mom. I told her I loved her and told her to give me a call the best way she could, use the neighbor's phone, whatever, call me when you get home. I never got that call. Never got that call. Following morning, I get up, I go back over to her house. The young lady tells me that Desiree never came home and that she had already filed a missing persons report. I said, okay. I said, well, wait a minute. She called me from this number. Let me call these people back. Let me call this number back and see, maybe she spent the night over there. And when I called over there, they said, no, she left out about 9:00. And I was like, okay, nobody's seen nothing. Nobody heard nothing. They were like, no. So automatically, I'm thinking, I know my daughter. She called him and she met up with him, her husband. And so
they just told you she left around 9, and they didn't say where she was going or who she left with, if she left walking or anything. Gosh.
No, she just left out. So they, like I said, I knew that she, at some point, she called him and that she would meet up with him and talk to him. She loved him. That.
Well, she loved him, and she had asked you had he called you, so she kind of.
Yeah, so I already knew she was going to call. So that's how the assumption that he did something besides the fact that he put a gun to her and threatened her life that night. Well, that pretty much tells you. Yeah, gives you the clue that, okay, he's a suspect. There was no reason for me to ever think that anybody else would have harmed my daughter.
Right.
No reason.
Exactly.
He was the only suspect. This
so y'all hear all of that stuff that happened prior to her being missing.
And then he ran. He ran. He told me he would turn himself in. He never did that. He continued to run. His mama helped take care of him this whole time. Yeah. Then he was out in Lancaster Palmdale area trying to find fake IDs and socials. Hello, what's that tell you? So I mean, everything he did made it seem like he was guilty. He just continued to run. Can't hear you.
It's not like he was a good guy,
No.
I mean, he was abusive. He was disrespectful. He was everything that a jerk would do something like this,
Exactly. And so when when all of this came about with this other guy, that just was like way out of left field. Like, where did this come from?
Right.
And like I said, to this day, Edward still has never been spoken to. In 2015, I found him. He was literally 3 minutes away, 3 minutes away from the police station in Cal City. You could walk out. You could walk out his door into the parking lot of the elementary school across the street and look right diagonally at the police station. That's how close he was. I took the information to them. I told them where he was and that he was there that minute. They told me the warrant had expired. He was no longer on parole. And if they went over there, they could knock on the door. He would not have to answer any of their questions because he was no longer on probation or parole or had a warrant.
Yeah.
They never went to talk to him.
That's insane to me. Do y'all hear this? This is what she was going through for 10 years. They wouldn't investigate. They never brought this man in for questioning. He's never been questioned.
We could have been on to another suspect years ago.
Yes.
Years ago. But because they refused to go and talk to him and question him, here we sit.
I'm shocked that they did it like that with him, because he was already on the records for being a, whatever.
Absolutely.
I'm really shocked they handled this way. But like you said, that's Cal City.
It just goes to show you, and their excuses are always that, officers are in and out. They come and they go often. We don't have the resources. We don't have the manpower. We don't have this. We don't have excuses. And my old saying, excuse what I'm about to say, but I have to be blunt with it. Excuses are like assholes, and everybody got one.
Exactly.
And that's exactly how the hell I felt about them. You keep on giving me excuses.
All the time.
No, do your job. If you can't handle it, get somebody in there who can.
This is insane.
And when the police
everything
department,
they needed back in 2012, and they did nothing.
Yep.
I just can't get over that.
And when the police department sit up there and they talk about politics, that politics, read between the lines, that's corruption.
Mm-hmm.
It's corruption.
Yeah. They are riddled.
And I have to say this. I didn't like John Walker. I didn't like him when he first came in. I couldn't stand him. I thought he was a joke. But I retract every statement. Oh Lord, please forgive me for the things I said. This man, at this point, I can admit when I'm wrong. I don't have a problem with it.
I liked him because he was telling us stuff. But go ahead.
But you know what? I had to look back because I got information on him as far as his record. I was told information about his record, and his record is crystal clear.
I was about to say, I thought he was good. Yeah, because he left because of
his record is clean. He has no blemishes on his police record whatsoever.
Wow.
So then I had to readjust my brain and say, okay, if it's not him, then it's the elements around him preventing him from doing what the hell he needs to do. So it's the city officials who said, oh, we're not going to worry about the dead ones. We'll worry about the live ones.
That right, man. Wow.
Yeah. It's right. And he's up against. So here's something. The mayor and Chief Walker. Now, Chief Walker has resigned. Mm-hmm. I'm sad to see him go, but I'm happy for him because had he stayed, his record probably would have got tarnished. Mm-hmm. So he fired 3 crooked cops.
I was just about to ask you that. And what happened?
The mayor hired them back. He fired them again. She hired them back. He put in his resignation.
I told y'all they don't want to clear up corruption, and this is everywhere. This ain't just Cal City.
No, and and it's in the city officials. It's in the town itself. People running that town. We got the weed
That's
man
great.
who has got his hands in everything out there. And yeah, so there's maybe three cops out in Cal City that I could actually say that I trust. John Walker is one.
God. Do you
Detective
understand
Brand Detective Brandenburg is one. He's the one.
that got ran off?
No, O'Quinn
Oh,
is the one
Quinn.
that got ran off. Brandenburg is still there.
Okay.
And Detective Hayes. Those are the only three that I trust out
Okay.
there.
Let me ask you this though. When you have a chief that fired three people and the mayor turn around and hire them back, what do you think their mentality is at that point? I'm untouchable.
That part. Yep.
So they're feeding corruption. And this is what the hell they want. They want it to be corrupt, which means that we're not safe.
The town was built on corruption.
Huh?
The town
Cal
was built on corruption.
Yes, I remember hearing that.
Many, many
I
years
watched
ago.
a bit of a documentary about it. Not
Yeah, it
yeah.
was built on corruption, and it hasn't changed. And my thing is, I feel like the police station out there should be shut down, and they should put in another entity in there, either a sheriff department or something, because that police station is privately owned. They need a government owned,
The
government ran
police station is
facility.
privately
Mhm,
owned.
mhm.
A lot of like because I remember a lot of people that donated to the boys. They were saying at least one or a couple of them owned a whole bunch of stuff, and people felt like they was shady too.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
very
more you
shady out
own,
there.
that's
It's
scary.
it's very shady out there, and
But
it's been told
you
that.
don't live in Cal City, right?
Oh no,
Okay,
mm-mm.
I thought you said you
I'm not
used to.
that far from it, but I'm not that far from it. But I don't know. I left in 2014.
Okay, I thought you told me
Yeah,
that because you didn't want the kids there or to
mm-mm.
run into that
I
guy.
couldn't be there anymore. I couldn't be there anymore. I literally could not walk around that town anymore because I knew my daughter was out there and I didn't know where to find her.
How old are the kids now? Because I heard you say two of them are
25.
out there.
Yeah, one
25.
just turned 20.
Okay.
Yeah, one turned 20, just turned 25. The other one's about to turn 24. Then I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Wow, man. And knock 10 years off of that. That's how long she's been raising her
Yep.
grandchildren.
And the
Back
kids
in
have
the
always
day.
the kids have lived with me since they were born, but their mom lived with me too. We
Oh,
were
okay.
always together. We raised the kids together up until she got married to this idiot.
Oh my God. Wait. Okay. So
And the
at that
kids were
point,
comfortable being, yeah, the kids were comfortable being with me at that point, and
at that
so we
point,
we left it like that.
how long has she been away from you then? At that point, how
Only
long has
about a
she been?
year, yeah, about a year or so, a
That's
little over a
how it
year.
was with me and my daughter. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God. So she was just
we
really on
yeah,
her own. She had been with
we
you all her
always lived
life?
together. We
Damn.
always lived together. So we always were under the same roof up
Damn. I
until
didn't
then.
even know that.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know
we
that.
only spent maybe a year or two away from each other that we weren't under the same roof all the time.
She literally was like a best friend to you. I mean, I know
That
I had
was
put that in the video. I sensed it with you.
she was my other half. Seriously, my other half.
And thank God that
We
it
did
was that
everything
way.
together.
You
We did
spent all
everything
that
together.
time. You spent a lot of time with her, which means you have a lot of memories. That is awesome that she stayed
Yeah.
with you
I mean, there's things
all
that
that time.
I mean, everything we've done. I was there for the births of the children. She slept in my bed when she was pregnant with all of them.
She was a
She just
baby,
wanted to be
mommy's
near
girl.
me. Yes, we get up in the mornings and crank the music up, and we would drink our coffee, cook breakfast for the kids, clean up the house, chill together, watch movies together, just everything. We did everything together. Everything.
Tell us what type of person was she? Was she silly? Was she funny?
Oh, she was goofy. She was goofy.
Did
My
she make
daughter,
you laugh a lot?
oh my God, we had so many laughs. My daughter was an incredible person. She would give her the shirt off her back to a stranger. She just was a kind, loving person.
Mm-hmm.
She loved to eat. She loved having get-togethers. Um, her and I would go shopping together. Her personality was just goofy and funny. And one of the things she used to do to me, and I hated it, and I wish I had it now. One of the things she used to do, she would come up to me, she just grabbed my face,
And
and she'd
lick it,
act like
right?
she'd get right, like she was getting ready to kiss me, and then she just licked my face, and I'm like, ugh,
You
I
hated
hated
that.
it. I hated it, but I
I
wish I
remember
had
you
it now.
telling me that. I know. I
I
remember you
wish I
saying
had
that.
it now.
Oh my god.
We just,
I
I
would be I would
just,
be so mad if somebody did that to me.
she just was a fun, loving person, and that's why when I do her celebration, her memorial, I want it to be lighthearted. I want it to be her. I want it to be food and friends and family and laughter and memories and music. She loved music. She was a shoe fanatic too. Oh my God. Her kids all are shoe fanatics.
Wow.
Every last one of them. Um, her second son. No, the first one I did. The oldest one, I didn't know he had learned anything from in the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
until this past year because her second to the oldest son was always in the kitchen with me like she was.
Uh-huh.
He get in the kitchen, he in there cooking with me and learning stuff, and the boy can cook his behind off.
Really? So your
And
daughter was a good cook? Your
oh,
daughter
my
was
daughter was a good cook. Yes, yes.
mm.
Her and I would get in there and always cooking. And so her son took after her. So I didn't realize until I think it was last year that the oldest one actually picked up on some of that stuff.
When your
And the
daughter
boy
was
can
paying
cook.
attention.
He must have been well. He's big, so I know he liked to eat. He's he's 6'4" and over 300 some pounds. He take up the whole doorway. He's a big
Wow,
dude.
really?
Yes, yes, he's huge, and he
Six
like to eat.
four. Well, he
Huh?
gotta eat. He gotta eat. Shoot.
He got it, girl.
That's a big boy.
He'll get in the kitchen. He goes and he looks up recipes now. He goes in the kitchen. He cooks. He brings me food. I'll be like, really? Where
It's your
was this
turn.
hiding? Where was this hiding when you was living here? Now
Oh
I just got to
wow.
get the younger two to get in the kitchen and do the same thing. Now my granddaughter will go in the kitchen. She'll cook some Korean food for you.
Really? She's into
Yeah,
Korean? I've never
she's
even
into
tried it. I don't think so.
she's everything Korean. She loves Korean food, Korean culture, Korean music. But she's kind of like all around. She likes all different genres of music.
Really?
She'll like throw you
That's
off with some of
interesting.
the stuff. Yeah, that she'll listen to. She listens to everything. Um,
It's cool to be
but
different.
but sometimes for the longest it was just Korean. She was always Korean and watching Korean soap operas, and she reads the little Korean anime books and things like
Oh,
that. And
see,
she can
does
speak.
she
She
know
can
the
speak
link? I
some.
was just about to say, because you know what? You can go on YouTube somewhere and type it in. It's pretty much you can learn anything online
Yeah, she
and
can
literally learn
just from watching them, just from watching the shows and stuff like that. She taught herself how to speak some of it, so she
it.
understands a lot of it. Um, and so Korean food, that's what she likes to eat. She likes to eat. She doesn't eat a lot of meat, so she likes the sticky rice and the vegetables, and every now and then she'll maybe a little orange chicken or beef and broccoli or something like that. But she'll cook it herself.
Wow. And this is the 16-year-old?
14.
14-year-old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
I
come a
mean
long
that's
way.
good. She's been different. I mean, she's been a better type of different because she's learning. It's
Yeah.
not like she's in the,
She actually came to me last year and asked me to cut her hair because, mind you, I told you that she kept her hair covered. She
Hmm.
wouldn't let me touch it, so I already knew her hair was matted. She kept a cover on her head 24/7. She kept a scarf, a hat, a hoodie. She'd have the only thing that would be exposed was her hands and her face. And even then, COVID happened, so all this is all you saw.
Yep. She probably was
And
real
that
comfortable with that.
went on for the longest. And so all of a sudden one day she just came to me. She asked me, she said, "Mom, can you cut my hair?" And I was like, "Sure. You positive that's what you want me to do?" And I said, "Yeah." So I told her, I said, "Okay." Yeah, I took her in there. I said, "Well, let me try to see if I can get some of it out, so I'm not cutting it too short." So
Hmm.
I combed out as much as I could, and I cut it. And she been wearing her little short haircut. She goes in
I
there every
know. I
day.
just seen a picture of her. Her hair is like curly, and it was like just down to the side.
Yeah, she's got her hair comes down to about right here now,
Hmm.
and so she wears it out. She wears tank tops. She wears shorts. She doesn't wear it. She's not covering herself up no more. Thank
And
God.
all of this happened in the last 2 months of Desiree.
In the last few months, yeah,
Wow. Look at that, man. Look at God.
yeah.
Couldn't have come at a better time. She's 14. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that because the last
She,
time we
like
interviewed
I
her
said,
was
I couldn't
different.
even hug her. I couldn't even touch her. She doesn't. She don't like to be
No
touched.
affection. No affection, huh?
Nothing. And now I can walk up to her. I can kiss her. I can hug her. I feel like I have my daughter in a sense with her, because I know what traumatic experience she saw that night. I know I can't get in her head to imagine because I know what trauma it was for me, but for her it was even magnified.
Yeah, she was there
You know
and
what
she
I'm saying?
remembered.
And
She
she was young and that was her mama and that she loved her mama and she was very close with her mama. Not that the boys weren't, the boys were too. The boys just,
It's different with girls.
yeah. And so, I tried to build that bond with her and I never pushed her. I never
Hmm.
pushed her. I just let her know I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
Whenever you ready to open up and talk about anything, I'm here. I'm not
that is
going
so
anywhere.
beautiful.
I'm always going to be here. And so now she laughs, she jokes with me. We clown around. Um, it's it's
You
different. It's
you
it's like she's a
literally
bug now.
you literally had to be strong because you had the little ones that was looking up to
I
you.
didn't have a choice. This is why I tell people, don't ever think that you can't be strong enough because when that's all you have,
Man,
you're gonna find that strength. God will
yeah,
give it to you. And I ask God every day, and I thank Him every day for the strength that He's given me to get through this. So
yeah.
now what I'm doing is I'm taking this to another level, and I'm gonna be doing thanks to Angel
Podcasting.
podcasting. Thanks to
Yeah.
Angel Lee, I myself and some other young ladies had went to a domestic violence event that she did in October of last year,
Hmm.
and we all spoke at the event. And since then, she has been God sent for all of us.
Angel has been an angel.
Angel is an angel, let me tell you. I love her. And through all of this, so everybody, okay, we had to do some little classes, and some
Hmm.
modules we had to do. And I don't know about everybody else, but I think everybody else did theirs a little quicker and maybe took the time to do theirs than
Hmm.
I did. But literally at the time when we were supposed to be doing the modules is when my daughter was found. And at that point my head was not even
Oh man, I could
I
imagine.
couldn't wrap my head around everything that was happening at that time, let alone to sit out and
Yeah,
do
learn
it.
something. Yeah.
Right. So literally one day, um I told her, I said, look, I said, send me the information that I'm supposed to do. And she said, okay. So she sends it. She said, well, do these. I said, okay. And I did all 3 of them in one day. I did 3 modules in one day. And I said,
Wow.
okay, send me the next module. So she sent me the next module. I did the next one. And then I had 1 more module to do. There was 5. And I was at court. I was sitting in the courthouse and she came and seen me. And while we were sitting there, I told her, I said, hey, I said, what is the other module I have to do? She said, oh, we can do that right now. I said, for real? She said, yeah, we can do it right here, right now. I said, okay. So we did it. So I literally did my 5 modules in 3 days, 3 of them in one day. Or yeah, 3 of them in one day.
Now, why were you benched doing these modules? Because you had a graduation date to meet, or?
So yeah. So the graduation was already set up. And so I needed to get my modules done so everything else could fall into place. And so she's been working on the podcast and everything going forward. So I needed to get my stuff done. So I got it done in 3 days. I don't know how, but by the grace of God, I got it done. And so then we had our graduation, and that was a wonderful experience. To have that and to see all the care that went into just for us to give us this, it's a gift. And so the podcast will be out very soon, like within the next week or so.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some more work I have to do, but because I have to set up another page. There's another. So what the podcast at first will be audio.
Okay.
So we'll do the audio part first, and then we'll do the video next, because we have
what platform you're going to use.
We have to have a class. Yeah, we have to have a class on the audio, and then we'll have to do the class on as well on the video, and then she's putting us out there. And then at the same time, she's not just throwing us out there. She's going to be there with us every step of the way, helping us to grow our brand and get our stuff out there. The whole purpose of these podcasts is to help other people. So my podcast, the name of it is With Pain Comes Strength, Sheri Smith's With Pain Comes Strength show.
Mm-hmm.
I will be covering basically domestic violence, missing, murdered, how to deal with, get through it, the effects of it. Children that are that have had to deal with it as well. And I also want to talk to her about something else, because suicide is another thing that is heavy on my mind. Because I also have a nephew who committed suicide 2 years ago. It'll be 3 years in September. So
Your sister child?
Yeah, one of my sister's oldest son. And so I think I'm going to talk to her about that as well, and try to include that in somewhere in my show as well, because there's a lot of people right now suffering with mental illness and suicide, and struggling with suicidal thoughts and things like that. And I think I want to kind of cover that as well. So mine is going to be kind of a broad spectrum, but I just want to help people. If I can honor my daughter's name and use her name to help somebody else, is what I want to do. I just want to help other people.
God has really brought you through a lot of stuff, because we just talking about your daughter part, Desiree's part of your life, but some of the stuff you were telling me, like, you've been through some things, so it's a lot that you.
My life by no means has ever been easy from day one.
Some of the stuff you were telling me, I'm like, oh my
God. My birth mother passed away when I was 18 months old.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and my dad raised me. And my dad was an awesome dad. And then he got married a couple other times. He married my stepmother, my mother that just passed away. Um, she's my mom, but her and I had some times together that weren't so good. They
Mm-hmm.
were actually really, really bad. To where I didn't even speak to her. I didn't. I was actually disowned in her book.
When you got with the black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her and my trouble started really before that. Um, but I grew, I matured. She never apologized for anything. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
you
okay.
just found forgiveness in your own heart, which is
I
good.
forgave her and let her know that even through all of that, I didn't understand it because up until her, I didn't even know what racism or prejudice was. I didn't know because I was not raised that way. So when that aspect came into my life, I was like, "What is this? Why? I don't understand. I don't understand any of this."
And your
See, the
dad just
first,
kind of your dad backed her.
no,
No.
my dad, no, my dad didn't have no problems with him. My dad was never that type of person. But she was such an overpowering person, and my dad was very sick.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had already had several heart attacks, open heart surgeries. By the time my dad had passed, he had had six, I think it was 21 heart attacks.
Oh
I
my
don't
God!
know how many bypass surgeries. He just, he was a walking miracle at the time, literally.
Wow.
So, I never blame my dad for the times that he didn't stick up for me. I knew he was sick,
Yeah.
you know.
That's good. You didn't
Um,
blame your dad.
I blamed her because it was her ignorance that created all of this stuff. But as I grew, I'm like, life. Long time ago, I knew life was too short to be sitting up there holding grudges.
Were you
And
still a teenager when your dad passed, or early 20s,
no,
or?
I was in my 30s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My dad's been gone about 28 years now.
28. Wow.
Yeah. And so, I think my stepmother really started changing after my dad passed. And at this point, I believe she realized that, you know what? All she had was us.
Huh.
Her mother passed, her sister passed. She didn't have no contact with her brother. Um, she didn't, as far as her father, I think he passed away, or she didn't have no contact with him. I don't even remember anything about her dad. But
Wow.
all she had was us kids.
So she humbled herself. That's good. And then you
And
was
then,
able to.
see, it was a case. Both of my sisters, both one of them, she has children. They're mixed. My other sister, her husband is black. My sister in Israel, her husband is Israeli.
Mm,
One of my brothers, his woman is black.
wow.
my other
So
brother, my other brother, his woman is Hispanic. I have a brother
what?
whose wife, the ex-wife, was Korean and Filipino. I mean, we're like United Nations. Come on,
Right.
come on.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, what made y'all? I wonder what made all of y'all want to date outside of your race. Like, you
Because
just wasn't
you know
attracted to.
what? Just what we were attracted to. We don't. It's not a fact because you can't say you don't see color. You see color,
I
but
know
it don't
people kill me
matter.
when they
It
say they
don't matter
don't.
because that's another person. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Right.
another person. And
Hmm.
my thing is, and I've always told everybody, what the hell would the world be like if it was all black or all whites?
It'd be pretty
The
boring and colorless.
diversity, the diversity is what makes the world beautiful. The diversity of cultures is what makes the world beautiful. Look
Here's
at
look, I
it.
just brought this picture up. Go ahead. This is
You
when she
know,
said with pain comes strength. Yeah, with pain comes strength. This is a tattoo that she had put on um her youth or Facebook page, and I
yeah,
took it and
that's
made
gonna
this
be my
little.
future tattoo. That will be on me.
Yes, this is beautiful. I like it. With
Yeah,
pain comes strength.
I have another one that I'm gonna
I
put on, and
stole
it's
this off
called
your page too.
Unbreakable.
I stole this
Yeah,
off
I have
your
a
page.
Yeah, I have another tattoo that I'm gonna put on, and it says "Unbreakable."
That's sweet. That's not. Yeah, I'm telling you, you
So
one strong
those
lady,
two,
man.
that's my motto. You know, you can get me down, but I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back
How did I
fighting.
so you don't know wait, you don't know strength until you have to be strong, or wait, you don't know
It's,
how strong
yeah,
you are until you when strength
that's all.
strong
That's
is
all
all you
you have.
can be, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, you don't know strength until that's all you have.
yeah,
That's all you have left. You
yeah.
know,
You can't ball
and
up, man.
yeah, you
But
got
you
to
said,
dig deep.
but you know what? You said that you had pretty much been through it already because Desiree's dad died, and you never wanted to let yourself get that low ever again.
No, I couldn't.
Can you tell us about that? And you can tell them I'll be right back. I got to step away.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Desiree's father passed away in a single car accident. He fell asleep at the wheel coming home from work. Um, back when she was 6 years old, and I went to a very dark place. Very dark place. I didn't care about life. I didn't care about nothing. I wasn't even, honestly, and I'm being honest, I wasn't even thinking about my children at that point. I was so hurt and so devastated that the love of my life, my soulmate, was no longer going to be here to help me raise these my daughter and my son. Um, it still hurts me that I lost him. Um, and like I said, I just went to a very dark place. I started getting myself involved with the wrong people, um, into the wrong things. Um, I got into the world of drugs. I was selling them. I tried them. Didn't like. Did I only do them when I felt really depressed, and then I'd come out of it. My main thing was selling them. Um, I even was paid to beat people up and kick in doors and collect money, which I did rather well. um, I was an angry person. Um, I pimped. Um, mind you, all these things that I did, I asked God to forgive me because that's not who I am. That's who I was then, being angry and lost. Um, I'm sorry, everybody. Um, I just went through years of dealing with major things, fighting within myself. Um,
Hugs
I
and love to you. I'm so sorry.
yeah, I didn't care about life. I didn't care about life at that point. Um, my anger just came out in everything I did. Um, and then my oldest grandson was born, and that totally changed my life all the way around. I made a promise to God, never again, never again would I do any of those things. Um, and I would always be there to help and protect my grandson and my daughter, and that's what I did. I
And
told
you
my daughter.
still doing it. You still
I
doing it
told
with
my
your love.
daughter, all that money that I made selling drugs and stuff like that. My kids went to school at the. My daughter was in kindergarten, draped in gold.
I'm gonna
Um,
have to catch the replay.
I did. I did her hair. She went to school. She'd have a little basket weave with her little braids and all the nicest clothes. My son was dressed in all the nicest things that were out at that particular time. He was draped in gold. Um, we had things. We had things. Um, but it's like everything that I had back then from that ill-gotten money, I don't have now. None of it.
None of it.
None of it. None of it. None of it. I was buying cars with $20 rocks.
What?
Yeah.
You was slanging back in the 90s or something?
Mhm.
I didn't know that. That's wow. I'm
I was
literally
back.
gonna catch the
Yeah,
replay.
I was in the New Jack City days.
I never even imagined that. Dang,
And,
Shariq was gangster.
I tell people, you guys, you see this, and
Don't let it
people
fool you.
people don't know the back history unless they were a part of it with me. And I've never really had a problem telling people about my past because I feel like um I'm not a product of my past. You feel me? I feel like I have something to offer somebody because of my past, and I don't believe that I would be the person I am without that past.
God is good. See, he could turn a
God turned
mess
me
into a
all the way
miracle.
around. From the time there was an instance with my daughter when she was little, and we were going to church, and my friends had taken her and went on to church, and I came a little bit later. And when I came into the church, my daughter was sitting up at the altar. She was kneeling, praying. She never saw me walk in that room. And I went over to my friends where they were sitting, and we were sitting there, and my daughter got up and walked directly to me, put her hands on my forehead, and started praying for me.
Desiree did? Or your
Yes,
granddaughter? Wait,
my daughter.
really?
Yes. This is the type of bond that her and I had. It just, there's things that I don't even I don't even know how to explain some of them. Um she was me and I was her. You know what I'm saying? It's just she got up and she prayed for me. That's a day I'll never forget. I cried. I cried so hard that day to have my daughter come up and just put her hands on me because I was troubled at that time.
I did, Bella.
Her dad had already passed, so I was still going through trouble at that time when she
Hmm.
did that. You know, so like I said, a lot of people will, for the most part, most of them um, are kind of shocked when I tell them things that I've done, things I've seen. I've lived through drive-bys. I've been through domestic violence. I've been through,
You've been bitten by a dog, mauled by a dog or two, right?
yeah,
Good Lord. Jeez.
all up here. Almost died.
Mm.
Almost died. God
Wasn't it
has,
your own dog?
yeah, it was an accident, but you know, I almost died that day. And that, like I said, that's not the first time I almost died. I mean, I've been through drive-bys. I've been through all kinds of stuff. Um, I God has me here for a reason.
Yes. And it's looking like you getting into it with the podcast and this healing and stuff that you about to go through because you about to
Yeah,
bless so many people.
I tell people,
So many people.
it's not just I've been a survivor all my life. I don't know what else to do but be in survival mode.
Yes.
I've been a survivor all my life. So, if I can take any of my experiences and turn them to the better good of somebody else,
Wow,
then
man.
that's what I want to do, because the person that I was for that 10 whatever years is not the person I really was. I was an angry person.
Yeah.
I was
A
no
hurt
longer
person.
around. I wasn't allowed around my own family. My best friend, my soulmate, died. I was left out there with nothing. Nothing. I didn't have anybody. I had nobody, you know,
Wow.
and not once did any one of my family members, my siblings were too young,
I
so
do
I
too,
can't blame that
Tracy.
on them, you
Tracy
know,
got chills. See the power? Are you speaking?
but
Wow.
yeah, but I was out there by myself on my own with two kids and no help, nobody to help me,
Nobody. That's
nobody.
crazy.
Now I have an extended family that to me they're just as much family, if not more than blood family to me. And their mother, may she rest in peace, was my mama too, came and got me off of those streets.
Did she really? I'm
She
so
came and
happy
got me in
she
my
did.
she came and got me and my baby off of them streets. Mind you, my daughter lived this with me. That's why I say my daughter and I are very close.
She saw a lot.
Um, she came and got me off of those streets, and my life changed after that. When my grandson was born, and I made that decision, I haven't looked back. I haven't looked back, and I told my daughter it's gonna be hard because all that gold and all that money and all that this and all that, we ain't gonna have that no more
Yeah.
because I have to do everything the right way. I said because doing it the easy way is literally really doing it the hard way, because when you look at it, everything that's done with ill-gotten gains is not for you to have.
Yep.
So you're not going to keep it. Anything that you use your blood, sweat, and tears to get, and you work hard,
It's
you'll
gonna
keep it.
last. Yep.
You'll keep it.
Yeah. Blood
So
money never last.
no,
I mean, like my mom
no,
said, you end up losing it. Somebody steal it from you, or everything you buy with it turn to shit.
yep, absolutely. You know, and I mean, I've been to jail, I've been to prison, all of that shit, all of that. Never
Wow.
been to jail. Never been to jail for drugs. Never.
What's the longest you ever did in prison?
16 months.
Wow, man.
You know, um, and this is why I'm so hard on my kids, because I can tell them I lived the street life. I lived it.
You know what's out there?
I know what's out there. You
Nothing.
know,
Death and
and
prison.
some of the things I did while I was out there, I'm surprised I did go to jail for. But I was smarter than the average bear, obviously, because they didn't get me for the drugs ever.
Hmm.
They tried to one time, but they couldn't.
Now it is a statute of limitations on that. Wait, it ain't.
Yeah,
Wait,
but like one time I was arrested because this ding dong that I was with at the time,
ding dong.
he he was abusive too, but he was an idiot. Um,
Yeesh.
I'm I'm sitting there. We're at our spot, and literally we're like squatters at that spot. So this apartment complex was a little duplex, and it was under foreclosure, so the bank owned it.
Hmm.
We squatted there to sell dope. So
Wow.
there's no rental agreement. I had a crackhead turn on the gas, the lights, we had everything. We had all the amenities, all of them. I paid a crackhead to do all of it. the water, everything. And so you know how they have the wrought iron gates or screen doors on the outside, the wrought iron door.
The Friday doors.
Yeah. Well, we had our door, our wrought iron door was on the inside of the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had it installed that way.
Yeah.
So if the police came, they wouldn't be
able to kick it in.
They wouldn't be able to get in.
Well, not fast anyway. Give y'all a little
Not
time.
fast. They got in there eventually, but not,
Yeah.
we'd have been able to, we'd have had time to dispose of things a little bit quicker, by delaying them. But anyway, we were sitting there and this idiot, he had some weed on a plate and he had like maybe a dime rock on the plate. And I'm sitting there, I'm drinking Hennessy. I'm buzzed. I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
I did then, but I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm buzzed. But I'm sitting in the chair and I told him, I said, you might want to get rid of that because the police is outside. He was like, oh, you tripping, you tweaking. I was like, the police are outside. You need to get rid of that. He gets ready to go tweak out the window. And I'm like, don't do that. They standing out there, dummy. So he runs around. He's got the plate and he's running around the house like he doesn't know what to do with this stuff. I'm like, dude, just blow it on the ground and grind it in. They're not going to see it. Just grind it. What? He goes and takes the plate, runs to the back bedroom, puts it on the bed and covers it with a blanket.
Oh, come on, man. He did not want to get rid of it. He did not want to throw it out.
Crackhead for you.
Yeah.
So he police come in. They're searching the house. What do? I'm sitting in the same seat. I ain't never moved. I'm still sitting in the same seat in the living room. Ain't moved. They come in. I'm just looking at them like, okay. They go right back there to the room and find it, and they come out. Oh. And the next thing I know, here we are being handcuffed and taken out. So we get handcuffed and taken out.
Damn plate out of his hand.
Right. So we're in separate cars, but as they're taking us to the station, I'm looking back. I'm seeing crackheads running out the spot with all my stuff.
Oh.
Everybody just running out. Stuff under their arms, running out.
Yeah. Y'all put away, damn. That ain't waste no time. See what I'm saying? There ain't no love in these damn streets, man.
What?
Damn.
Where are you going?
They like they don't need this shit. They going to jail.
I'll call you in a minute. Yeah. So I'm like, dang, they just running out the house with this stuff. Okay, whatever. And nothing I can do about it. So they get us down to the station, whatever. They charge us with maintaining a house for the sales and use of cocaine, possession,
squatting.
Yeah. So no, not even squatting. And so I tell, look, it wasn't mine. They didn't get that off of me. I'm not accepting it. I'm not going to tell you whose it is, but it ain't mine. And I left it at that. So then the guy, it goes into, I'm in there for 5 months. So come to find out, this idiot told them it was mine.
Oh, no. What? See, you should have just tipped that damn plate.
Right.
You wouldn't even be in this mess. This food turned over on you.
Yeah. And so I told him, I said, well, it's not mine. And I'm still not telling you whose it is because I'm not a snitch. And we can go on with this and take this to trial. Because number one, I'm already knowing I'm a little smarter than them. They're thinking they got some dumb white girl. Mm-hmm. I'm already knowing there's nothing. They can't charge me with nothing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing they can charge me with. The drugs weren't on me. My name was not on anything in that house. Nothing. There was no rental agreement. There was no bills in my name. There was no mail coming to that address in my name. So that house ain't mine. So you can't give me that house.
Yeah. You got that right. But damn,
so,
5 months you sat there?
5 months. And when it got time to go.
Maybe he knew that, and that's why he told him it was yours.
Well, he was too stupid. He didn't know that. He didn't know that part. But the when I went to court to start the day I was supposed to start trial, the public defender came and he said, look, he said, I don't want you going in court in county blues. He said, I'm gonna go buy you some clothes. So when I come back, you can go ahead and change your change clothes and we'll go into the courtroom. I said, okay, cool. He came back less than 5 minutes later. And he said, you ready to go home? I said, absolutely. He said, they dropped it. They don't have nothing. I said, I told you.
Wow. But 5 months though?
Yep.
Dang.
And then I went to the bus station out there and got a free ride home. Got escorted right straight. I got escorted straight to the.
What she's overcome. Right?
Wow. I sitting up in there. I'm like, I'm at the bus depot. Like, I don't even know how the heck I'm gonna get home because I didn't have, the money I had wasn't enough to get me home. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm like sitting up there, and one of the security guys, he's riding around on a little golf cart at Union Station in LA, and he keep coming by. I think he's trying to flirt. And so I'm just like, I'm flirting right back. Okay, well, we can play this game. So next thing I know, he gets me on that bus for free, escorting me on that little golf cart out the building all the way to the door of the bus.
Wow.
I got home, the bus driver, and he told the bus driver, he said, you take care of her. You make sure she get home safe. Mm-hmm. So I was the last one on the bus when we hit Lancaster. The bus driver looked at me. He said, well, the bus station's in a bad area of town. Like, I don't already know this. It's in a bad area of town. I don't feel safe dropping you off there. Where you want to be dropped off at? I had to take you right to the spot and drop me right back off.
Oh, back to my house.
Everybody in the neighborhood, yeah, everybody over there, they were like, why is this Greyhound bus doing on our street? And I got off the bus and they were like, wow. Oh, damn, we should have known it'd be you coming off the bus. They knew how it was. At that time, I really didn't have fear for anything. I mean, I sold drugs out of a cop's personal vehicle.
What the hell? Jeez.
I even bought some of his guns from somebody. The same cop. It was the same cop.
No wonder you know they corrupt.
But I mean, like I said, if I wrote a book, people would be shocked.
You should write a book for real.
People would be shocked.
But your podcast is going to be very interesting, I think. Because, I mean, you know sometimes you got to add a little. I know that it wasn't meant to be funny, but you see, we laughing like, so sometimes.
I can laugh at it now because it was stupidity back then. But at the same time, it's like I lived it. I was jumping out of rolling cars, beating people up, kicking in doors. Literally. I was paid to beat people up.
Like the bad stuff, the bad guys.
That's what my life was. I can't erase that part of my life.
Says, please write a book. Please.
Yeah, I can't erase that part of my life.
No, you lived it.
It's a part of me. It's who I am.
For a reason. Hey, what's up, Keish? Keish all day in the building.
Hey, Keish.
So, Keish, this is the other half that'll be doing the podcast. I'm so excited for y'all.
Yep, she doing one too.
She gonna be on there praying. Oh, y'all doing separate podcasts? Y'all not doing them?
We're doing separate ones. Whoa. She has her own. I have my own, and the other two young ladies each have their own.
Okay, I thought y'all was doing a collaboration, but y'all probably collaborate sometime.
Oh, no? I don't see why we couldn't.
Do you know what platform y'all gonna be on, or you don't know
Not
yet?
yet. I'm not sure yet. Unless
Well,
Keisha knows, I don't know.
let me know. I will definitely be supporting y'all with that and helping sharing information in my groups and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to it because
I
both
am
you
too
and Keisha
because
is good. Y'all got
at the
some stories to
this is
tell.
a yeah, I am too because at the end of the day, this is a turn in all of our lives.
It's
This is us.
therapy.
Yeah, it's therapy for us, but it's also us taking our experiences and
You
trying to
turning your
help
pain
somebody
into
else.
something that's gonna help the masses. You're taking your pain
Right,
out.
trying to help somebody else.
Yeah,
It's like if we can prevent somebody from going down the roads that
all
we've been down
platforms.
and dealing things that we have had to deal with, if we can help it
That's what's
eliminate that for somebody, that's a blessing to me. If I help one person, that's a blessing. I
if
want to help more
man,
people.
you can help one person to help a whole generation.
Exactly.
That one
I
person.
mean, it's extremely important to all of us for us to be able to reach out and help people like that. They're trying to call in.
Who, Keish?
Yeah, my little group. They trying to call
Oh,
right now.
Keish said y'all gonna be on all platforms. They must need you for something. Wait a minute, Miss Sherry. I don't know you, but I hope. Wait, hold on, Miss Sherry. I don't know you, but I hope and pray you do write the book. She said, I'm a convicted felon with a similar story. Really, she wrote? I was facing 30 years for drug trafficking. She wrote, what?
That just gave me chills.
Whoa. And she wrote, don't you have a book? And if she don't have a book, she knows how to get one. So, wow, she wrote.
It's if people. It's why I try to explain to my kids. When you go to the grocery store, you're walking down the street or something, and you pass by somebody, you don't know that person's story.
Exactly.
You don't know what that person has been through
You
or
don't.
going through. You don't know what their daily
Oh,
struggle
roll
is.
calling you. That's a roll calling about our thing we did today. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
See, look at
Yeah,
these
so
sisters together now. The sisters are
yeah,
unbreakable. I'm
you
loving
know
it.
what? I love them. I love them to death. I love them to death. They are family. They really are. And just like I had told Ro before, okay, we got we're getting justice for Desiree now. We have Desiree now, but we still have to fight and find the boys. We
Yeah,
have to do something to be able to get them home and to continue to fight for these children and all these victims that are out here because this is happening every day.
yeah.
I mean, every
At an
day in
alarming rate.
Lancaster and Palmdale, I'm hearing about these shootings, domestic violence, just random shootings, and all this violence and car accidents and all these things
Oh,
that the world
Keish,
is in.
Keish said just dropping in to say hi. Gotta go to the group. See you later, Keish. I hope to talk to you soon about the
I'll be
boys.
on
I just
there.
haven't been bugged. I know. Look, she nudging. Going to talk to the group. Nudge, nudge. We got you, Keish. We got you. Time for
Yeah,
you to
so
go,
I
Miss
mean,
Sherry.
it's just that's really what we're trying to do. Take a bad situation. It's like I try to explain to them also. As sad as it sounds, I think even with my daughter's death, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And um, with with her passing, this has opened up a whole lot of other things, a whole lot of other areas, and now I think this is where God wants me to be. This is what God wants me to do. I had to lose my daughter. As much as it hurts, in some way I had to lose her. to get here.
Man, yeah.
You
Because
know,
God don't make no
um,
mistakes.
I think he needed her more than me
Yeah.
at this point, and that's the only way I can think I can rationalize it,
Yeah.
because this was a senseless murder.
It
You
was.
know, and I know that now my daughter will never, she'll never be in pain. She will never suffer again. She will never have to worry about another man putting his hands on her. She will never have to go through her depression and her feeling worthless at times. I don't know why she ever felt like that. She was such a beautiful person.
She really was. She really
Um,
was.
but she had a lot of self doubt for
Yeah.
some reason. Um, and she missed her dad. Her dad was a lot to her too, you know,
Yeah.
and she struggled with that over the years, a lot. Um, and
Damn.
now she's with him. They're together now,
Yeah.
you know. So um, now I know they're watching over me and
And they
the
gonna help
process.
guide you. I believe that your purpose, because I mean, just the lane that just how I met you and how you was up on a panel that was podcasting, and now you were very instrumental in letting us know about Cal City in the beginning when we didn't know anything. You was really instrumental in that, and I believe that um through Desiree, you are gonna help a lot of people find their loved ones that's been missing. You
My
are going
thing
to
is
help
never
get a
give
lot
up.
of people.
Never give
Yeah.
up. Never give up. Keep the
Yes.
fight. It's hard. It's hard. Every day is hard, but you can't ever give up. You
You got
can't.
to make that same
It's
pain
not
your
an
strength.
option. Giving up is not an option. It's
Yep.
not an option.
Literally. I
You
mean,
know, and
that
I,
tattoo is you. That
yeah,
tattoo
you
comes from
know, I didn't, you know, my family, it's not that my family wasn't there for me with this, with Desiree, um, but they struggle with what to say. They don't want to say the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and, and it happened with my sister in Israel with her son when he committed suicide. And I had to tell my sister in Israel, I had to tell her, I said, look, it's not that they don't care. They're reaching out in the only way they know how to reach out. People don't always know how to react or comment or come to you when they know you're in that type of grief.
Yeah,
Because
that's true.
there's no words that are gonna make it any better.
I'm like that. That's why I didn't bug you. I'm like that. I don't be knowing what to say. It's like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like
you know,
that.
and so that's why I had to tell my sister because she really kind of felt like they didn't give her enough support when her son died. But then when I had messaged her on WhatsApp and what was telling her in the beginning was too much for her to handle.
Really.
So she said, "Look, I can't read this right now. I'll read it when I can." I said, "Okay." Um, she was grieving not only for her son but for me too because I've been going through this for over 10 years,
For
you
years.
know?
Yeah.
And now she kind of
Damn.
felt guilty because she kind of felt guilty at that point because she had her son even though he was dead, he was right there. I didn't have my daughter
Yeah.
yet. We still didn't know where
Yeah.
she was yet. So um she felt as though how can I say like it hurt her more because she knew I still didn't have mine. I couldn't put mine to rest. She can put hers to rest. And over there in Israel, they do it in a day.
Mm-hmm.
They die one day, they're
Yeah.
buried the next. They do it
Oh.
quick.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, they
Wow.
die, they investigate, they bury them. That's how fast it goes.
Dang.
It's like a 24-hour period. Boop, boop, boop.
Wow. They don't waste no time.
No time. They don't embalm over there or anything.
No.
No. And so, I think she felt guilty because actually she had her son and I still didn't have my daughter.
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, it's okay because my time is coming. And I'm not going to stop fighting until it does come.
2 months later.
I'm going to bring my daughter home. So don't worry about it.
But God.
Okay, Desiree.
God. Where did that just fall from?
Desiree.
Seriously.
Desiree's here.
Look, the
Desiree,
man above
you seen
said
it, right?
is talking to Desiree. I heard it. I didn't see it. I'm gonna have to watch the replay. What is that?
It's a little box that's sitting up on top of my shelf where there's nothing disturbing it. There's nothing up there that can make it fall. Nothing.
Wow, look what he wrote. He said, Desiree, we know you're watching and looking over your mother. Blessing to you, Queen. Rest easy, rest in peace. Your story is now a part of my heart forever. God bless you and your mother. He's
Thank
talking
you.
to Desiree.
Thank you.
Man, wow.
This happens a lot now that she's been found. So
Are you serious?
Mhm. She's
I
here.
got chills again. I got chills. That's what you meant when you was like,
here.
she's here. You said that like when
She's
you first
here.
came. Wow.
She's
And
here.
you know what? What's so beautiful is that how you're receiving it. You not scared. You at peace.
The kids said something. They came to me one day. They was like, "Mom, there's a ghost in the house." I said, "It's okay. It's your mom. Don't worry about it." And so my granddaughter was like, "But Mom, my door was locked and it opened." I said, "It's your mom. Don't worry about it." She said, "Mom, my door was locked. It was locked and it opened." I said, "It's okay. It's your mom. Don't worry about it."
See, you giving me so man. Listen here, I'm cold now. You're giving me chills on top of the chills.
There was something else that happened a few weeks ago. I have a tote
Look,
that
the
is
man
sitting-
above said, "Amazing soul." I told you earlier, I could see and feel her there with you,
Yep.
and he did.
I'm
He
telling you,
did say he been
she's
saying stuff
here.
in the chat.
She's here. She so I have this tote over here, and I had these little wire baskets that have been sitting on. I was supposed to do something with them. I bought them to do something with, and I just haven't done anything with them. And so they were sitting on that tote. No way for them to fall. There's nothing there to bother them, to stir them, to make them fall, or anything like that. And I was sitting on my
We
bed,
all
and
got
I was watching TV, and those baskets flew off the tote one day. I just looked
no
at myself.
freaking way.
It's happened in my kitchen.
You should
What,
keep.
the little
You should
totes that
keep
you put
track
your
of all this
vegetables in?
stuff, so you won't
Huh?
forget. You should write it down so you won't forget for your book, or either
Right?
document it
See,
verbally.
well, when it happened, I was like, "Okay, Des, I know you're here, baby. I know you're here." In the kitchen, I have so the little tiny little vegetable bins that you can set on your counter.
Yeah.
I have two of those. They've been on my counter since I moved here. I've been here almost 5 years. Never once have they ever been disturbed. All of a sudden, one day they fall over. Nobody's over there. Nothing. They just fall over.
What? So, what do you feel that it is like? I mean, what do you feel like? Because now that you didn't have the
It
stuff
makes me
before.
happy because I know she's here. It makes me happy. I know she's here with
What do
me.
you think she's saying to you, Mom? Thank you, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what do
Probably.
you sense?
She probably wants to lick my face.
No, she might lick it tonight.
There's
Don't have to
times
tell
that I'm
us about it.
standing.
Oh
There's
my
times that I'm standing in the house and I can feel something near me. I'll feel it, or I'll see a shadow, and there's nothing there to make the shadow. I'll look around. Okay, Dad. It makes me happy because now I know she's here.
Yes.
And wherever I go, she's always with me because I have this beautiful I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. There
What
we
is?
go.
Oh, where you get that? Is that a ring? What kind of ring is that? A
It holds her
rose?
ashes. Yes, it's a rose, and it holds her ashes.
Oh
And a very
wow!
beautiful person who doesn't want, she's on here, who doesn't want me to put her name out there is the one who she gifted me the urns for my daughter, not just for myself, but for the children to each have an urn. And she gifted bracelets for the boys and rings for me and my granddaughter.
Oh my God, that is beautiful. Like I didn't know you could put it in
And
a
you know who
ring.
you are, and I love you. She's in here.
Aw, that is beautiful to whoever did it.
Yes.
I
She
got
doesn't. She
somebody
doesn't
in
like
that
me
in
putting her out on blast.
mind.
She doesn't like
Hmm.
me putting her out on blast, but I love her.
Oh, that's so
But
sweet, man.
yeah,
That is
so
awesome.
my granddaughter's hers is a heart, and so one side of the heart actually has a wing,
Hmm.
and then it has an inscription on it, and then the boys have the bracelets with
Oh
the
my
ashes.
God, that is beautiful.
So she's always with us. Everywhere we go, she's with us.
Well, that I wonder if that's why she's there because her ashes is with you now. I
You know, I
wonder.
started feeling her. I started feeling her when she was released from that ground out there.
Shri. Oh my God, this is amazing. Like this is an
I started
amazing
feeling her then.
story.
That's why I knew,
Wow.
because when out of all the times that we've seen um remains being found in Mojave, in Cal City, in Lancaster, whatever, I've
Mhm.
heard it multiple times over 10 years. And I've always sat there and like, well, I wonder if this is her, and I'll sit there and I'll wait and then I'll go on about my business, that day
It was different.
it was different. I looked up at that TV and I said, this is her. She's coming home. This is her.
Dang, I got chills again.
This is her.
Gosh. Oh my gosh, Cherie, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
So, you know,
Man.
little things will happen around here, and it makes me happy because I know she's with me.
Wow. Dang,
I
I
was
love
telling
it.
somebody, I was telling some people that her and I would get up every day and turn the music on and cook and clean, and we turn on our oldies and blast them, and this was an everyday thing for us. That's what we did. Get up, have our coffee, eat some breakfast if we wanted to, and start cleaning house, listening to oldies. And so I haven't done that since she's been gone.
One day that radio gonna pop on.
And
Wow.
now, when I brought her home in the urns, the day I brought her home, actually physically brought her ashes home, I said, now I can turn the music back on and we can party again.
Oh, you gonna make me cry. Oh my gosh, Cherie.
Now we can party again. I can play that music again.
Did you?
No, I haven't yet.
Not yet.
I've had my grandson out there sleeping in the living room, so I didn't want to be rude by blasting the music. But my youngest son is getting ready to move out. He just went and bought himself a new car, and
Whew.
he's got a job. Well, actually, he's gonna have two jobs now. And he's
There go
moving down to
Roro. Hey Roro.
Canoga Park. And
Oh,
20 years old. He just went and bought a 2015 C class Mercedes. Like, you can do it, I
wow.
guess.
Feel
I
that.
guess, I'm proud of my kids. I'm proud. I look at them and I'm like, I can actually pat myself on the back and say I did a good job.
Congratulations. That's man.
They're good kids. They're
Every
smart. They're
time once.
driven. Yeah, they're driven, and you know, um, they're all going to be successful. Every last one of them will be successful. I have no doubt. You know,
Wow.
so
So the man above said, Tracy, yes, you did. It's like literally, um, he said you literally could see her. My grandfather, pastor, used to do this with his grandmother. He would literally have conversations with her throughout the day. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer
So
Nobles in the building.
I used to talk to her dad all the time once he
You
was
did.
gone. I did. And then I stopped talking to him
Your sister's in the
because
building coming to get you.
I started getting into all the garbage that I was doing and whatever. But my daughter's youngest grandson was in camp, and every weekend when I go up to camp, um, I'd get in a truck, and as I was leaving town, I'd say my prayers, and then I talked to her the rest of the way there, and all the way back home. I
You
tell her
have
it's like just like she was sitting in the truck with me. Okay, baby, come on, we're getting ready to go. We're gonna go see your son.
been.
We're gonna go
Aw.
visit him. So I do have those conversations with her a lot.
Yes. Justice for Desiree, bro. For sure. Yes. This is beautiful. Like I didn't know what to expect, but I mean everything that you've shared with us, and you've laughed a bit, you cried a little bit, but most of all, you got your baby on your finger right now. I'm so happy for you.
Yep.
You know, I knew it was a bittersweet thing for you. I said it even before I heard you say it on the news, but I know that this is what you wanted really bad, and I'm so happy that you was able to get it, in 2022. Y'all
Well,
deemed it a year for justice, and it is.
after so many years, I mean, I already knew something was wrong. I knew my daughter wasn't here. I
Hmm.
hoped my feelings were wrong, but
Yeah,
I knew something had happened because there's no way my daughter would have ever walked away from me or her children.
exactly. You said
So
that she would never
I
stay
knew all
away that
these
long.
years. Yeah, I knew all these years that she was no longer here. I just didn't know where. And the problem was trying to find where she was and be able to bring her home. And I wasn't going to stop until that happened. And God answers prayer. So I'm telling everybody, stay in your prayers, trust and believe in Him. It'll happen.
Yeah,
He answers prayers. Miracles do happen. He answers prayers, and He'll reveal everything to you in His time.
the
In His
power of
time.
prayer, man. Whew.
Mhm.
You couldn't have got
And
with a
she
better group,
teaches some of
man.
the best prayers.
I know, man. They had me crying one day. I was on the interview. Oh my God! And she prayed for
Oh,
me.
I
Then
cry every time she
came up
prays.
and said something. Ro came up and talked to me and just speaking life, and it's just like, wow.
Yep.
I
I,
haven't done anything I was supposed to do though, but
I cry every time Keish prays. I feel it because it's in her. It
yes,
is
I
her.
feel it
It
too. I
is
feel
her.
her prayers too, for real.
Yep. All her beauty comes out in those prayers. Just
Absolutely.
and you feel it. They're real. And as long as people just trust and believe in God, I know some people have a hard time believing, but even the
Hi,
bad things.
Edie. Welcome.
I know even the bad things that happen in your life are allowed to happen for a purpose. You just have to find out what that purpose is.
Yes.
God doesn't. He allows these things to happen because we're either learning lessons. A lot of the things, the people that you deal with, so they're not everybody's meant to be with you forever.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You're only giving a person so much time.
Yeah.
That
A
person is
blessing
only
or a
yours for
lesson.
so much time. So even the bad things that happen in your life, you have to figure out a way to turn them to a positive, some kind of
Yes.
way. Um,
I always
I
try to
blame I
find a
blame I
positive.
blame myself for
Time is
what I
hard.
went through, those years that I was getting myself into trouble and all that. I blame myself for that. But I was going through something I didn't know how to handle it. And by rights, what I should have done was turn to God and ask Him to help me get through it. And I wouldn't have went through that stuff. But because I did go through that stuff, He taught me lessons.
You went through it for this moment right now.
Yeah.
All of that stuff made
So
you the woman you are, made you strong, made you a strong woman,
exactly.
and made you able to deal with this right now. And now you
Exactly.
got to bless so many people through God's help.
And all this
So
time
many people.
of this 10 years, God has just been strengthening me for the outcome. Because see, I still don't know everything.
Yeah.
You know, I still don't know every detail.
Do you
I
think?
know
Do
this,
you want to know?
I'm kind of conflicted on that.
Hmm.
I do, but I don't.
I asked because it made me think. Nipsey Hussle, they're in trial. His family is in trial. He was murdered, shot 10 times, and kicked in the head, and his
Yep.
family is not even.
I remember that day.
It happened 3 years ago. That's right, you
Yep.
out there, and so his family is not going. They're not going to trial and stuff. So they've hired an attorney to sit in and keep them up on what's going on. So I just wondered, would you
Yeah.
want to
So
know
right
all the
now
details?
with the trial right now, like I said, me being a witness at this point, when I can't sit in while they have the other witnesses in there. I can't sit in the courtroom. My family can, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
But my family can't tell me what they hear in there either,
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, that's a weird position. Yeah.
because I'm not supposed to know, because
Right,
it
it makes sense. You a
right.
witness.
So they don't want anybody veering either way, but I look at it like this. The evidence is going to speak for itself.
Hmm.
So once they start getting to the point showing all this evidence that they have, at the end of the day, the jury's going to, what else are they going to do? They're going to need
Right.
therapy. They're
Yeah.
going to need therapy with what they're going to hear and what they're going to see, because this man was brutal. This man was brutal. This is not just no ordinary, just stab a person and bury them. That's not what this is.
Damn.
And so I've come to grips with the fact that I know that in my head, but am I going to be able to handle it in the courtroom and see it?
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have the option. I don't have to sit in there if I don't want to. If I can't handle it, I can leave. And I told my family, if you can't handle, don't put yourself through this, because I don't want you to be some mental case later on, because there's nothing nice about this case. There's nothing good about this case at all.
But maybe
And
that's
women,
why maybe that's why she's there now. You know what I'm saying? Because even though, her body is not here, her soul never dies and she's with you. So that might help you along the way to know that. Like he think he killed her, but you still feel her. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah, and so I think when with my family, it's like I told them, if you feel like you can't handle a certain part of any of these testimonies and any of this stuff in court, walk out.
Yeah.
Walk out. I don't want you to be mentally sick after what is going to happen in that courtroom.
I'm just thinking like maybe with her just y'all know that she's there, so maybe that piece, maybe you could turn that part of it into the piece
Yeah,
that will
maybe.
help
I
you
know the detective also told me, he said, look, he said, I can't tell you what to do. He said, but I would advise you that when that part comes up with the coroner and they start showing the pictures, he said that you don't be in there.
Oh no,
That's
don't
all.
look at no
That's
pictures.
already telling me.
I couldn't do no.
So,
No.
if that's the case, like I told my family, just leave. If I can't handle it, I'll leave. Otherwise, I'll sit there, because I really want to. The biggest part of me really wants to know what this man did. I can't fathom why you would just pick just anybody. Why wouldn't you go after somebody that did something to you? If you're
Right.
angry, You're angry at that person. You're not angry at her. She didn't do anything to you. Why wouldn't you go after the person that you feel assaulted you? Not that I want that person hurt either, but thinking like, why wouldn't you go after the person that did something to you?
He's a monster, man. To be able to do that to somebody that didn't do nothing to him.
Yeah, you just pick somebody.
Sick ass, man.
You know?
That's okay. They gonna
You
pick
picked
him.
my baby who had never done nothing, didn't even know you existed in this world. She didn't know you from a can of paint.
Wow, man. I mean, unfreaking believable.
So, you know,
I don't even know
it's
if I'm
gonna be
gonna
a long
seek out
process,
those details.
huh?
I don't even know if I'm gonna seek out those details because I'm not gonna talk about it because I know how you feel about it. You know?
Yeah, it's it'll all come out eventually. I just I know my kids, they don't go on the same sites I go on. They don't come on these. They don't and honestly things with their mom, it's like I just asked them, please just don't pay attention to them because you need to remember your mom the way she was,
Yeah.
not what happened to her.
Yep. She's not
And
what happened to her.
she's not.
And she right
She's
there
not.
knocking
So
stuff over. So
right. Right. So yeah. She you know, it's I'll be glad when it's all over and I feel like I can actually live again and move on. Um
I was
but
happy to even hear you say that you felt a weight lifted off because I wondered about that. You know, I
yeah,
wondered
I
how you
do.
felt.
I
Yeah,
do. I mean, you know, I still have those moments where I feel heavy, but that's gonna happen because I have her, but I don't have her, you know,
yeah,
and it's I just have to deal with that. It's I know I conditioned myself to know that I was gonna live the rest of my life without her
yeah,
physically, you know, but you know, I nothing can be changed. It is what it is. I have to deal with what I have to deal with the best way I can. And you know, like I said before, and I tell everybody, I do a lot of praying. I pray a lot. I pray a lot. If I'm driving down the street, I'm praying. I'm thanking the Lord every second I can think about thanking Him. You know, because He's brought me a long way. He's brought me a long way, and I know He has a purpose. And just I just ask Him to go ahead and use me. Use me. What
yes.
is it you want from me? You
Rose said,
know,
"We love you, Cherie,"
I love you guys.
and I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us.
Well,
Um,
sir.
it's I'm telling you, it's helpful to everybody. You even helped me. I mean, I just can't believe your strength. I cannot believe everything that you've been through in life. And I'm just so happy to see it going in a different direction to for more healing and to heal other people. And I can't wait until you write
And
that
you
book.
know, that's
Really
something
should.
too because my healing comes from trying to help others.
Yes, it
My
helps talk
healing does come
about.
from trying to help others.
I'll
It
learn
helps
that how
me.
one day how to talk about stuff.
Yeah, it
It
helps me a
really.
lot. I never stood up in front of anybody, never got on anybody's nothing and talked ever in my life, not even in school. Teacher couldn't even get me to get up in front of the class and talk. Never,
Well, I think
never.
you kind of got like when I will see you on Nina Boy's channel, you never showed your face because everybody thought you was a black woman, including me. And I think one
Yeah,
one
he
day
cracked me
Nina
up that
Boy was
day.
like, "What?
He
You
cracked
are
me.
a Caucasian, right?" Or something. He asked you like, "What?"
Yeah, he cracked me up the day he revealed all of that, and all of a sudden the chat just started going crazy.
They like BS. Cut her camera on. I didn't believe that. I don't even think. Wait, did you turn your camera on that day?
I
I don't
think I
think you did.
did.
You
Yeah,
did.
because they didn't believe it.
I was like, nah,
Yeah,
bull crap.
Well, my grandfather's Creole, so what the heck, you know?
It's in your blood, huh?
It's in my blood.
God
In my
bless you,
blood.
Sheri.
God bless you. Thank you.
Wow, the man above says, "Wow, this happened to me with my son. He has severe asthma, not breathing for 20 minutes, miraculously brought back and overcome weeks of being semi brain dead. What a blessing!"
Wow,
And
what a
then
blessing.
I want to read Sheri, or Sherry. I don't know. It's spelled like your Sheri, so I'm not sure if it's Sheri or Sherry. But she said, "God does definitely answer prayers. My son died over 5 minutes in his early 80s. Oh, in the early 80s. And I got down on one knee and prayed in front of everyone, prayed in front of one who couldn't save him, and he started breathing. Love
Amen.
and gratitude. Wow.
Amen.
Mama
God
Cherie.
answers prayers and he performs miracles every day. Every day. Nothing's impossible for him. So as long as everybody understands and believes that anything is possible to him, we okay.
You was on there that day, Tracy. Oh, Tracy was talking about your nails. Tracy was like, your nails on
Oh,
point
thank
as
you.
usual. And then Autism Mom said you do them yourself.
I
Do you?
do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
always nice. I've noticed that. One of these days I'll do something to my old dry hands. But
Yeah.
shit, I don't feel
I
like going down that rabbit hole and have to pay money every
that's another thing that helps me like clear my mind.
getting cute, huh?
Um, is I sit down and I'll turn my TV on. I'm not pretty much not watching. I'm listening. And I'll just sit here and I'll work on my nails.
Well,
They
that's
might not
good.
even need to be done. I'll just sit and work on them because that's what kind of
That's therapy, therapeutic.
is therapy for me. So
And that's good. Shoot, you could make some money doing that if you really wanted
I
to.
could and I used to.
Did you? I used to do
But
nails
yeah,
too.
years ago I used to.
I know how to do them. I just don't.
Yeah, and I got away from it, and then I started doing it for myself again, um, because I didn't want to spend the money at the shop.
I'm happy I got away from it because that acrylic is strong. Do you wear a mask when you put on the acrylic?
I'm so
No.
used to it. I don't even. Yeah, I'm so used to it. But I'll play with the gel or the acrylic or whatever I feel like. I mean, I got all kind of stuff. I got over 350 polishes.
Wow.
I got over 350 polishes. I've got all kinds of.
What is that? What is that?
These are
Polish
all.
or paint?
These are all different. These are all little powders that you like neon, so I can put neon on and it'll glow in the dark.
Oh, oh,
Glitters.
that's sweet.
Um, I have.
Wow. So wait a minute. They got color acrylic now? Bright
Yep.
colors?
Yep.
That's what's up. They ain't had that when I was in school.
Oh
I
yeah, they
had
got
to
all
design
kinds of.
from scratch.
They got lime greens, bright pinks, reds, you name it. Every color you can
My
think of, they
favorite,
got
my
it.
favorite thing is the French manicure. I love them. I love the
I
French
did
manicure.
too. It's classic.
Yes.
It's classic. Yeah.
Honestly,
I
I
just
mean,
do
if
I just do whatever makes me feel whatever I feel that day. I've even got where they go? I even got the foils. I got all kinds of foils and
gel
all
nails
kinds
and
of
that's good.
I got
I
girl,
need to get into
I
that,
got
but I'm too dang on
I
busy.
literally have my own shop. I've got the
What's
drill.
that? A drill? Oh my god, that's what's up.
I got
You go, girl. Look,
I got it all.
if you ever think about it, you could turn that camera on and start uploading that stuff on YouTube, so you could teach people how to do their nails. You know how
Right?
many people will watch that?
Yeah,
But you ever think you about to start
I
a
had
podcast
somebody
now?
ask me about doing press-ons, because a lot of the nail
They,
techs now are doing their own press-ons and selling them.
yeah, they already coming up
Yeah, they
designed
design
and
them and they sell
everything.
them.
Yep.
Yeah, I had somebody go, why don't you do that? I was like, Sounds like a lot of work. I don't know.
It really ain't, man. It really ain't. I could see
It's
that.
like I have so much going on. I was like, I don't even know where I would fit that in.
I mean, but it's the cheat way to do it because my niece, she went to a dance and I'm thinking she went and got her nails done at a place because I'm telling her she was asking me to tie her shoe and all kind of stuff. I'm like, why would you get nails that long if you can't even tie your dang on shoe? And then she did something, pulled her pants up or something, and one of them popped across the room. I'm like, what the hell? Didn't you just get these done? Come to find out it was some damn Lee
Press
press.
on. Yeah, they.
I said, "Oh, I see why you got me helping you now." Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the nail techs now though, what they're doing is they're making their own press-ons really and selling them
And
on
all you gotta
Amazon,
do,
selling them on all these different sites, and it's like, so they're not just doing nails, they've got a product now that they're putting out there, and it's like, okay,
yeah, you should
smart
get into
idea.
that, man. Especially if you like doing it for fun. Should get into it. Find out what they doing. Hey, that's another way I could make money. I can get back into designing nails and stuff. I
Yeah,
could.
all you got to do is press-ons. All you doing is designing them, putting the designs on them, and packaging them and sending them out.
Yeah, and they be looking nice too. They look real. You know,
Yeah,
it
I've
look
seen a
like
lot of them
somebody.
that look really, really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like somebody literally sat there and did your nails. My nails
Yep.
look horrible, man. My eyebrows look horrible. Everything. I ain't been dealing with the little fine stuff, but you know. And who said we got to do our eyebrows anyway? I'm trying to think when did that come into play? Like, cause I
Right.
mean,
Mine, you can't even
everybody
see. You can't even see mine anyway, so I
they
don't even worry
blind,
about them.
they
Yeah.
blind. Well, hello.
My hair started turning white when I was 17 years old, so it was a process, but it turned white gradually. But it started at 17.
What, your eyebrows?
My hair turning white.
Oh, I thought I was blind. Shit.
It's white.
I thought it was.
My hair is white.
So your hair wasn't blonde when you was younger?
It was blonde when I was about 2, and then it went darker. My hair was dark when I was born. It was blonde when I was 2. It got darker as I got a little bit older, and then by the time when I got married at 16, I started dyeing my hair blonde. So everybody thought I was a blonde,
Right.
you
I
know.
thought you
So
was.
then I did the back to natural, and I had the white streak going, and then it just progressively took over, and so now I just have like a little spot back here that is still dark.
Wow. I mean, it from here it looked blind, so you could have got away with that with
Probably
me.
the lighting. Probably the
Oh,
lighting.
okay.
But so my grandfather was Creole, my grandmother was German, and my grandmother, at the age of around 17, her hair turned snow white, and
At 17?
and what I could remember of my grandmother was her hair laid in natural finger waves, and it was
Sweet.
snow white. Her hair
That
was snow
sounds
white.
pretty. Wow.
Yeah, and so out of our family, myself, one of my uncles, and my aunt, one of my aunts, all of us are the ones that ended up with the white hair. Even my siblings are mad because I got white hair and theirs won't go white.
Oh, so now see, and remember when everybody with I'm talking about teenagers in high school was wearing gray wigs, like it turned around. That's the color that everybody want now.
Yep.
So
Well,
blind and white and
one of my sisters has strawberry blonde hair, and the other one is a ginger.
ginger. I could
hmm
picture that.
She's
Yeah, I could picture that.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful red hair, beautiful. But
So, how many siblings do you have?
well, if I count the siblings that I have with my biological mother, there's 13 of us all total.
Okay, wow, man, wow, wow.
Yeah.
But y'all kind of distant.
But I'm the only, so all my siblings are half siblings. I don't have any full blooded siblings.
Oh, well, I mean, same mom or same dad, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my other
I don't
siblings, we have the
separate,
same mom and
I don't
different dad.
separate that.
And this set of siblings over here, we have the same dad and different mom.
I know, but I don't separate that. I
I
know
don't
a
either.
lot of people
They're
do.
my
Yeah, I
siblings.
don't separate that. Yeah.
Even my sister that's in Israel, she's biologically not my sister at all. She's
Oh,
my stepsister.
okay.
But my dad adopted her, and I took her in, her and her brother as my siblings when my dad married her mom.
Yeah. Yep.
That's my sister.
That's how it is. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it was
You
kind
know,
of.
we have a lot of family members that we call brothers and sisters that ain't like I have a brother out here that he ain't no blood kin to us, but he's just as much, if not more, a brother to me than my actual biological brothers.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, they
know,
be like
so
that sometime, man. People that ain't blood is the closest.
we
What's the
always we
saying?
always take in people.
I can't think
That's
of it
just our family. We just take in people. My kids is kids. My kids is friends. All of them. They're
They call you
I'm
mom
either
too,
not or mom to them. You know,
right? You
I'm
even
like a
got you even got autism mom now. I mean, yeah, autism
yep,
mom call you mom.
yep. The lady I work for, she calls me mom.
What the heck?
Yeah, we're just close. We're more like family. You know, I go over, I clean her house 3 times a week. I need the extra money. She needs the work,
That's awesome.
but she calls me mom.
That's awesome.
So it's family don't have to be blood. They don't have to
Exactly.
be blood.
They don't.
I have an auntie in Oklahoma right now that she is not blood to us, but ever since we grew up, that she's been our auntie. We love her to death. That's our auntie. So we just I like I sit up there and tell people tell the kids sometimes I don't like people, but I like people.
No, you definitely seem like
They're
a
like,
people
Mom, you're
person.
confusing. I was like, no, there's certain people I don't like. you
Well, I think that's all of
know,
us, but overall, I mean, when you have
there's
people,
certain
so many
people.
people gravitate to you as family, and then
Yeah.
they call you mom, you definitely a people person. There's something sweet about you that people love, you know? There's
That's
something
like,
about
when I did customer service. I did customer
blood don't
service for
make you
many years.
family always, Jennifer said.
Exactly. I when I did customer service, you learn a lot doing customer service type work.
Mm-hmm.
Because you learn limitations. You learn how to deal with people on a whole nother level. You know, and I try to reiterate that to my kids in certain scenarios. Through the day that they may come across. And always have them to try to be mindful of other people and we don't know what that person may be going through. We don't know what that
Yep,
person has been through or you know what's going on in their head right at that moment, that they might have been rude to you or whatever.
yep,
That's just like
yep,
certain people hold the door open and the person will just walk out the door and don't even say thank you. I'll
yep.
I'll look at them and say, "Oh, you're welcome. Have a blessed day."
That's when I let the door go and let it hit them on
You
on the
know,
back of their
it's
damn
like, yeah, instead of getting mad,
on the top of their back of their foot. You know that hurt. As a
yeah,
matter of
because
fact,
when you do that, then they
I
think they
did
think,
that to
oh,
myself. So
yeah,
I
you do that, and you're not rudely pointing them out for what they've done. You know what I'm saying? Common sense is if your parents taught you properly, you say thank you when somebody does something for you.
yeah, yeah. You
You
just
know?
say you welcome. That'll be me.
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
actually thank people that hold the door for me because I hear
there's
so many
something.
men complaining about that.
Yeah, there's something that my youngest son's father had pointed out years ago that it kind of made some sense to me. But you go to some of the other states, like some of the southern states, and people walk down the street and how you doing, whatever. They're
I know
very
they speak
cordial.
to everybody.
You come to
Yes, they are.
California and you get the nose up in the air.
Oh, that's how it is here.
You
You
know, it's
speak to
like,
somebody, they looking at you like, you talking to me?
yeah, why are you
Yeah,
talking to me?
hi. Well,
You know,
what I
um,
do, like, I already know here that a lot of people don't be like, hey, hi, hi. So if I catch somebody eye contact, I'll definitely hi, because I mean I don't understand why people
yeah,
stare
I do
and
that.
try.
I walk in the store. Hi, how you doing? God bless you. This is a little lady that sits in the store. When I go in the store, she be sitting right there at the door. I don't know if she waiting on a ride or what. Little old black lady. And I walk in the door and I feel like she recognizes me from somewhere, somehow. But
Uh-huh.
I don't know where I would know her from. She'll look at me and she looks me dead in my eyes. God bless. And I'm like, God bless you too, baby. You have a blessed day. You know, like, but I found also that there's times I'll be in the store and people will walk up to me and, hi, Sheri, can I give you a hug? And I'll be like, I'm looking at them like,
How you know
uh,
me?
yeah. And then all of a sudden it'll come out. They know me from the YouTubes and or the news or something like that. And they just want to give me a hug. Oh,
Oh,
sure. I'm a hugger. Sure.
that's so sweet. See, it's
Yeah.
just
So
something sweet about you. The gangster is gone. I mean, except for when you was telling the story,
it,
you got
it
a little
it's
gangster again. But
yeah,
you know,
it's down in there. It's down in there a little bit, but she only peeks out every now and then.
oh my God,
She
that
only
is
peeks
so
out when
funny.
somebody riles her up.
Well, they
I
better
try to
leave you
subdue
alone.
her.
They better
Yeah, I try
leave
to keep
you
her
alone.
subdued.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you got another name for her? Because some people actually name a crazy person.
No, I've
No,
never named her.
it's
I've
just
never
you.
named her. I just know that she's nothing nice. I don't like to show that side. It's a really ugly side. I don't like to show that side. I don't like to
We can
show my
all get
anger.
ugly. I'm telling you, we can
Yeah.
all get
I don't,
ugly.
yeah, I don't like to show my anger. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't like to get mad. That's why I be
Mhm.
cool. I
I
be
don't either. I don't like to argue. That's why I tell people I don't argue. I don't do drama.
nope.
I walk
And
away. I
I
don't
don't
do
even
it.
want to hear it that much. I mean, even though I report crime, I'm talking about people, people that I know that just want to tell you the same dumb stuff they going through that they can actually get out of, but they choose not to. So they want to bend your ear all the time about the same dumb shit. And I just like I had got to a point where I would just listen and I'd be like, "What you gonna do about it? Are you done yet? Are you tired yet? I mean."
You figured it out yet?
Yeah, like, what do you want me to say at this point? I already told you to lead a dude. He ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get no better.
Yep.
So
Yep.
then you just to be continue to be a friend. You
They
just
tell you that I did that with my niece. My niece was a little airhead. Let me tell you, and
ding dongs, airheads.
just really out there. And all of a sudden, so I had to get her out of town, or have my brother get her out of town really quick. Um, she witnessed something she shouldn't have witnessed,
Oh wow,
and
dang.
so and it was gang related. And I told my brother, I said, look, listen to me and listen to me clearly. Get her on the first thing smoking out of town. Your daughter is now a target.
Did they listen?
But he said his first comeback was, well, if she witnessed it, then they're going to want a statement from her, and she's probably on surveillance. And this is, I said, shut the up. Shut up. You're not listening to me. Your daughter is a target. Do you want your daughter to be a statistic? She saw something. You need to get her out of here now. Don't hesitate. Get her out now. And I looked at her. I said, you don't need to be here. You haven't seen nothing. You don't know nothing. Nothing. That's from your memory. It's gone.
Yeah,
And
sounds serious
he
out
fi-
there.
yeah, she witnessed a murder.
Yeah, when it come down to snitching, I'm saying I was just
Yeah,
talking about that about me.
exactly. Because the dude who did the shooting knew my niece.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm like, get her out of here. All the evidence will tell itself. Everything, they don't need her. Don't have other witnesses. They don't need her. Get her out of here. And I told him, I said, I'm trying to save my niece's life. Do what I'm telling you. So he got her out. This ding dong, she get out there with her dumb mama. And at first she was doing good, this and that, whatever. Okay. And then all of a sudden, she's got all these talks of she's gonna go to Washington. Some guy.
Oh wow.
I'm like, don't even do it. Don't even do it because it's, honestly, don't do it. This does not sound like a good move. Well, she ended up going to Washington anyway. She ends up pregnant.
Oh God.
Now I'm like, oh God, now we got her pregnant. She's dingy as hell. She can't really even take care of herself. I'm telling my sisters, I was like, look, one of us is going to end up having to take this baby. We might as well get ourselves prepared.
Oh no.
She was like, well, I can't wait to have this baby so I can start pole dancing. I can't wait to have this baby so I can start smoking weed. I can't have it. Wait to have this baby until I can do some shrooms, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, oh
everything
my
but being a
God.
mother. Dang.
Yes.
Sometimes you can't save people, man.
Yeah, so I'm sitting up there. I'm stressed out. My daughter's youngest son, he's coming to me. Mom, you got to get the baby. She don't know what she's doing. You got to get that baby. You got to raise that baby. I'm like, dude, hold up. I'm really not trying to raise another child, but right. I'm like, if it comes down to it, and that baby needs a home, she got one.
Oh, that's
but
so sweet.
let's hold off. So as the pregnancy progressed, there was a back and forth with the dad, and I kept telling her, I said, look, he's showing you who he is. He's showing you his true colors right now. I said, so you need to take heed to this. I said, because if he comes out here and talks either way, he's talking to you on the phone right now, he's getting laid out by me. He will never talk to another woman like that again when I get done with it. She said, I know, Auntie, I know. I said, well, you need to understand because I'm not the only one in this family that's going to tear him up. So anyway, she goes through the pregnancy and I can start seeing a little changes here and there. She's still a little dingy, but I can start seeing changes. But I have to tell you, she is a good mom.
Really? Good.
She's a good mom.
I'm glad
She's
to
a good
hear
mom.
that.
She had a beautiful little baby girl. And she has shocked all of us.
How old is the baby?
The baby should be about a year old now.
That's good. I'm glad to hear she's a good mother.
She actually moved away from here. Her mom had moved to Florida. So she moved out there with her mom, which is not a good situation for her because her and her mom don't really get along. But she's been able to get a job and care for her child, and she's doing good. So I'm proud of her.
Well,
She showed us all.
I'm glad to hear that you don't have to raise another baby right now.
The only babies I want right now is grandchildren, great grandchildren. So I've been bugging my kids. I know you guys might not be quite ready, but
shoot, you ready for a baby? Okay, well,
yeah. One I can love and spoil and send back home. I can come and pick up whenever I want to and send right back home. Yeah, that's the thing.
It is a difference. It is a
difference. Because with my grandchildren, I was more like mom. So it wasn't. They always lived with me, so it wasn't like I could just spoil them and send them home. They was already home.
Yeah, it
so
was
I kind of got.
You never stopped raising kids because Desiree was in the house except for that last year and a half. So
right, and so I've raised them. I'm their mom now, and like I told them, so when you guys have children, my great grandchildren will actually be like my grandchildren. Because I didn't get that chance with you guys. I didn't get that opportunity with you guys to do that. And with you guys, I'll be able to do that with your children. and I only have one other one that can give me grandchildren, and not great grands. Because my oldest son, he got snipped.
He did before having kids?
No, he got 3.
Oh, okay.
But I just found out about the third one just last week.
There's your baby. It's probably
But
grown, right?
it's not a baby. It's not a baby. He's already like 12 or 13.
Aw.
And I didn't know until this past week about that one. But my youngest son, he's 20. He's the only other one that can give me grandchildren. So the other ones will all be great grands. But
Okay.
they all look at each other like brothers.
Right.
You know, he's their uncle, but they look at each other like they're brothers.
Now, how old is he?
He's 20.
Your son is only 20 years old.
My youngest son.
Oh, and
He
then
turned-
you have a 25-year-old son.
So my oldest son is 45.
45?
46.
Wow. Okay.
I
Dang.
started young. I was married at 16, had him at 17.
Wow.
I had Desiree at 23.
Oh, you waited a while.
Mhm.
So you only had 2 kids.
Yeah, I had 2 miscarriages. So I would have had 4 children.
Man, I'm gonna lose this thing. Well, wow. See, your 2 kids turned into all the kids, and now you want more kids. That's a beautiful thing. That's a
I
beautiful
love
thing.
kids.
You want more kids you can send home.
Yeah, my Desiree's youngest son, he calls the little ones fun-sized people.
Because he's so tall.
Yeah, her youngest son, he's 16 and he's 6 foot tall. Her
Oh, that's
oldest,
6 foot and 300 pounds.
the oldest one is 6'4", and he's 25.
Where I get that height? Are you tall or their dad was tall?
Girl, I've shrunk. I'm only 4'11" now.
That's it. You short as heck. How tall is Roro? Because Roro seemed like she's short.
Roro's short too.
I knew it. She
Look,
seemed short.
when Angel needed me to try on the gown, the cap and gown and stuff. I told her, I said, I can't get up there. I said, just use Roro. She's about my height.
Use her as the mannequin. Oh
I
my
said,
God.
I'm just chunkier than her, but the height wise, we would be fine.
I did not know you was that short. 4'11".
Girl, my original height was 5'2" and 3/4.
Roro, you know you lying. She's talking about I'm 6 feet in your mind. So most people that want to say they 6 feet is probably, in your case, 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah, I was originally.
No, they usually be men.
Before
They be like 5'8".
Yeah, before I broke my back, I was 5'2" and 3/4, and because I have degenerative disc disease and I broke my back, I've shrunk. So now I don't have the cartilage in between my discs anymore.
Ow.
It's bone rubbing on bone, and I have.
Want to do surgery?
I had my back surgery where they had to. So right above my tailbone was broken. And so they had to fix those discs right above my tailbone. I walked around for a year like that. Didn't know it was broken.
What?
Mm-hmm. They did all kinds of tests and X-rays and MRIs and all this kind of stuff.
What kind of pain meds was you on?
I was going in. They were giving me shots in my butt every other day, but they weren't helping me. And so because it was really starting to really cripple me, this other doctor, he referred me to a neuroscience and spine institute in Bakersfield, and I went up there, and they ran all the same tests that had already been ran on me. And I went back for my results, and as soon as I walked in, he looked at me and my sister. He said, "It's broken." I said, "Broken?" I said, "I've been walking around with a broken back." He said, "Yeah, you've literally walked around with a broken back."
Oh my God, that is insane.
Yeah.
That is
So I
insane.
went in and had surgery, and then I had to go through the phase of recovery and learning to walk again and all that stuff. Um, and then so I have severe back pains.
Roro said,
Mhm.
"Okay, everyone, much love, and I have to get back to what I was doing. Stay blessed and prayed up. You stay blessed,
Love you,
prayed up,
Roro.
and much love to you, Ro. Thanks for stopping in."
Yeah. So I ended up after my surgery. I just kept pushing myself. Things that I wasn't able to do, I push myself to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I deal with severe back pain every day. I have nerve damage in my right leg from the knee down into the foot. I can't feel on the outside of my leg; it's numb. Um, I still get nerve spasms in my foot, and I get my leg will actually lock up on me.
Oh
I
wow.
get nerve spasms in my back every now and then. I'm
Jeez.
on no medications,
No
none,
medicine? Wow. That's
none.
amazing.
I go through the pain. If I start feeling a lot of pain, I know that it's inflammation, so I'll just take like ibuprofen or something to try to ease some of the inflammation.
Jeez. We know what you meant, Ro. I actually read it right.
Love you, Roro. Yeah, I love
Wow.
Roro.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you just learn. Like I said, I've been a survivor all my life, so I just push through.
Yeah. I mean, you
You
can
know,
give some
I it's
you can
like when
give
they told
other
me I
people
was.
strength that's laying in the bed that don't have the strength to get up. They hear about all the stuff you going through. That might make them say, you know what? Let me get up because I'm feeling sorry for myself more than anything.
Mhm,
Like this is
exactly.
amazing.
And if with everything going on these days, if people just don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Um I know that God and these kids have given me the strength to go on and do what I've had to do these past 10 years. And they'll continue to give me the strength to do whatever I'm going to do in the next whatever years I'm still here. Um, but if people would just not put themselves down and not try to look past, how am I don't even know how I want to say this. You have to push past the pain. Not that it isn't relevant, but if you continue to concentrate on the pain, you're not going to be able to move forward
Hmm.
because you're going to be stuck, you know? And my 10 years of dealing with this, like I said, has been prayer. I've tried my best not to ever break down in front of the kids. Yet, have I? Yes, I have. But
Yeah.
always tried not to. I
Hmm.
don't want to show that weakness to them. Not that it's a weakness, but I want them to know that I'm there for them and I got them. And so, what I would do is at the end of the day, when it's my time, I'll go run me a hot bath or stand in a shower. I cry. I pray. I cry myself to sleep, whatever it took, and I'd pray and cry. And I'd get it out my system. And I'd wake up the next day, shake it off, and keep going
Yeah.
and keep going because you have to you can't become stagnant. You have to continue to put one foot in front of the other and one step at a time. You can't recover in an instant.
Hmm.
You know, it's not going to happen in an instant.
Yeah.
So it takes time to get over these things. I don't know when I'll ever get over this. If I ever will, and probably will never will.
Yeah.
You know, this is a hard loss for me.
Thank you for dropping the GoFundMe. And if at this moment, if you want to donate to the GoFundMe, that would be awesome. But we also have her Cash App up here, and this is for the memorial that she will
Yeah,
be having for Desiree. So
yeah,
let's help her put her together, give a beautiful memorial. I'm so happy to see that ring though. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Rings
I
and
love it.
bracelets. Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And it has the rose on it, which is also like I was saying, I stole the rose off of your page.
Uh huh.
Off that picture that I did, I stole all that off your page.
It's fine.
This one
It's
right
fine.
here. I think it's really pretty though, the way it
Yeah,
turned out.
that with pain comes strength. The only thing I'm changing with that is that butterfly. It's gonna have a
Which
butterfly, but it's gonna be
uh
a different butterfly.
that is really pretty. I could see that. And where
That's
you
me.
gonna put it in the same spot?
I'm putting it on this arm that's they got chewed up.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Ouchie. Look at on that
symbolizing.
on hers. It's right here. It's like right
Yeah,
here. But I
yeah.
will put it
So,
more
but
out
I
there.
have Des right there. I have Des right there.
Oh, that's pretty. I never seen that.
Yeah. So I have
Okay.
her and her kids right here. So this arm is the one that the dog chewed up. So I'm gonna have unbroken, and I'm gonna have with pain comes strength with the butterfly here, because pretty much I'm unbreakable,
Yeah. Yeah. They
and
tried. They tried
with
it.
pain comes strength.
Got mended back together. Wow. That.
Yep.
What the hell is these idiots doing, man? Okay, I mean, some guys, it's like a car just sped by, and all four of these people is sitting on the window outside of the car, driving fast. All
Yeah.
right, not good.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna get ready to get off of here, Cherie. I really
All right, Kenny.
appreciate you coming up, and just know you are
Absolutely.
welcome here anytime you want to come and talk to
I'll
us.
be back.
Let us know when you get that podcast going. We'll be tuning in and supporting you and Keish and the rest of the family that's gonna be doing it if we can. And again, if you want to donate, it's Justice for Desiree right there. Whenever you get it, you can donate. We want to help send her off well and give her the
Thank you.
memorial that Desiree deserves. So again, thank you so much. Much love to you,
Much
and
love to you.
it was my
Thank you to
pleasure.
everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Much love to you all. God bless. And thank you, everybody. You have no
Yeah,
idea.
justice
The
for
support
Desiree.
that you guys have given me is beyond. Thank you.
You welcome.
I'm very humbled.
I wish we could have did more, but I mean, I'll donate again too because I really want to help her make an
I'm
impact.
very humbled. Thank you
You welcome.
to everybody.
Love you.
Love you
Talk to
too.
you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
I thank y'all so much for hanging out with us for this 3 hours, 43 minutes, and 52 seconds. It was really a pleasure speaking with Cherie. I mean, it's been a while. Like I said, I'm always, because I want to talk to Roro. I want to talk to Keisha all day about the boys and stuff like that. But I know that they're limited in what they can share. So I kind of shied away from really, bugging them and stuff because it's just not in me. I need to do it a little bit tougher because I know I could probably get them up here to talk to us, even though they can't share much. But I'll always connect Desiree with the boys now because they're fighting together. And so I just want to say again, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Autism Mom, for coming through and supporting Miss Sheri like you do. Jennifer Nobles, Keisha Day, Roro, and everybody that's always here supporting me. I appreciate y'all. We gonna get out of here. I will be back, and I hope to see y'all. Peace and love, y'all.